There's a jingle in the still of night, a shimmer neath the pale moonlight. Saint Nick is sly, a shadow fleet, with gifts that make young hearts complete. He's not the man with toy-filled sleighs, no sugar plums or candy trays, but hope he brings to maidens fair, with silver coins and tender care. Oh, the jingle of Saint Nick, not a sleigh bell, but a magic trick, a dowry here, a dowry there.
What up, y'all? Hopefully the sound's coming in okay. Looks like we got some folks in here already. That's always a pleasure to see. Mountain Man Tops, good to see ya. What up, Shah? Oikophobic, always a pleasure. That's a cool profile pic. Hey gamer, welcome in, man. You're the real player out here, man. There's no doubt about it. Don DeMarco says, let's see if El Augustin gets it right. Yeah, we'll be seeing that. I didn't watch any of this video, but I looked at the subsection titles, and it seemed like it can serve for tonight's video. Geo Fisho, shout out to you. That's an interesting profile picture you got there. I'm gonna start a poll. We'll doing a gaming stream once a week be a positive or a negative for the channel? Start poll. All right, we'll have time for one more song. Dan the Man, welcome in, brother. I made sure to save those images. We can read those aloud later, those beautiful story images you put in there. Hope you all are well. Let's see. Let's do Shah's Bold Endeavor. Might be another quiet evening. I know last week was kind of quiet. So we'll see who shows up. If you can hit the like button, that'd be great. I see there's 6 people in here. One like. It would help if you hit the like button, so please do that. All right. Salut les gars. I like that. This thing does an auto translate for me. I would prefer it not to. But, you know. Oh, man. For in the shimmer of that old dear gold lies a tale of love, both brave and bold. Hopefully Klaus will get in here. 5 likes, man. Thanks, guys. That's real nice. Depends what game. Let me tell you something, bro. It's not going to be any new games. It's going to be games from like a while ago. I prefer older games that have a good story. Like, that's what I want to play. If I could find games like that, I'd be happy. I've been trying to get back into gaming, but it's tough for me to do, and I feel like if I stream myself gaming, then like I'll suddenly have a purpose to play games, and then I can like game. It's weird. One of love that's sincere. All right, Klaus made it in. Oh, thank God. We can get the stream going. Klaus, welcome in, sir. We appreciate having you. Dan the Man says, personally, I don't think gaming would hurt the channel, but it doesn't fit the content. That's my problem. That's my whole internal conflict. The other part of me is like, who gives a damn? Because I'm like, whatever. Part of me thought about making a separate gaming channel. Then the other part of me is like, why? Like, my channel's not that big, so it's like, I could keep it exclusively this content, but, you know, it's at where it's at. So it's like, at this point, it's like I may as well do all kinds of other content that I feel like. So part of me just feels like the channel's not big enough to justify a spin-off channel, if that makes sense. So, you know. Shaka Nulu. Great to see you, man. I know you're in from Vegas. Hope you're doing well out there. It's a pleasure to see you. Salute, sir. Man, I forgot to use my sound effect for the folks. There we go. But did you see the second story I made? Yeah, I made sure to download both of those. So we have both of the stories. If you want to do a game stream, open a second channel. Different content screws the algorithm. Okay, so Klaus is one for keeping it on a separate channel. I'll keep that in mind. That's my conflict, man. What I was thinking was maybe like Wednesday evenings, somewhere there, doing it, maybe Thursday evenings, doing a gaming stream, and then Saturday can remain what Saturday is, you know? So if, you know, I don't know, that's the thing. The audiences are just two completely different things, because if I do gaming, then I'll do a multi-stream to here and Twitch, because I do have a Twitch channel that, like, I never use. I mean, I use it sometimes, but it's just been so long, you know? Damn, I always got to log into my Twitch every time. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. Twitch verification code. Yeah. All right. Oh, my gosh. Gosh, man. Twitch used to be a lot better. Then they, like, changed everything. This is the Twitch one. 311 followers. I don't know. I'd love to revive this, you know, if it's even possible. Yo, Caesar Quintana. It's a pleasure to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Putting any live on your channel won't be negative unless you put negative stuff on your channel. I was watching your live with Paul Elam and Mike. I'd love to link with Mike as we both live in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas is a big hub for a lot of the folks. I mean, John from It's Complicated's over there. Rolo's over there. I mean, and if people aren't there, they typically go through that city and do stuff anyway, so. Would you marry an older woman with a good dowry? What's the cutoff age for you? I mean, a good dowry. Let's see. I could probably do a couple years older. I mean, you know, it'd have to be a real nice dowry. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm not unopposed to it. Not too, you know, obviously not like, I don't know. The childbearing would be a challenge at that point. Interesting question. Most of you guys did say, oh, real quick, this is what we're reacting to tonight. So the real reason nobody wants to get married anymore. And I did like the subsections here. So we had the necessity of marriage, when marriage became an institution, when work left the home, when marriage became about love. This is about when I decided maybe this will be a good one to react to. So, you know, that one. Oh, damn it. There was that Steven Crowder video, too. I was looking at that. Maybe we could save that for another time. You try getting the feminist opinion on dowries? I mean, I haven't had any conversations with, like, any outspoken feminists. If this gets any bigger or gets any more steam, it will probably inevitably run up into that. At the end of the day, for feminists, it's like either they have a dowry or they have a means of income. So for them, in some ways, there's a little bit of an olive branch there, because it's like, well, you can justify your income and your career in that way. And that's really what happened too. Like, places moved from the dowry, and some places justified it with, well, if women are working and they have a livelihood, that's what the word they use, livelihood, then it means there's no need for a dowry because they have a livelihood. Typically, a dowry is used to balance out the man's livelihood, to make it, to respect and honor that, you know, to make the deal worth it. Now their knee-jerk reactions is going to be, oh, it increases violence against women, or they're going to say my womb is my dowry. Man, I got to go back and get that sound effect, man. My womb is my dowry. I mean, it's going to be something like this where they speak, you know, sarcastically about it.
What's the dowry situation?
Exactly.
Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Like, that sound effect is from, I'm pretty sure, a feminist, you know. It's a left kind of show, progressive. What the heck is that show called? It's the one with Sam Cedar on it, and it's like his co-host. I can't remember her name. She was on Tim Pool's show once. Oh, damn. I don't know. Maybe I'll remember it. But, you know, they're going to be like, oh, well, what's the point of that? You just want to oppress women. But it's like that I would have to then explain to them, which is, you know, I got no problem doing. It could be an interesting conversation, I think, gamer. That's what I was talking about. It's complicated. Pardon self. Wrong name. Okay, see, it means sartain. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure, you know, you can probably catch him in places around, you know, because he does his interviews for his episodes usually like around notable places in Vegas. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him one time. You just go right up to him and then ask what the questions are for the night. I'm sure he'd interview you. Yeah. Man, you know what? Let's go see It's Complicated's channel. We haven't reacted to an It's Complicated video in a long time. Let's see what we got here. We'll see what the most recent videos are. Is it harder being black? Okay. Adapter reform. Not all men male slaves. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe we'll look at one of these after we watch this. So maybe we can do that, depending on how much time and energy we got. We'll jump into this. Let me just look at chats for a bit. I'm just trying to relax. Talk about ironic timing on this topic. Sadly, found out Duane from the Wrangler School, a typical tradcon. Man up, do more, just get married, etc. is now going through a divorce. Dude is 60 years old. Wow. That sounds pretty terrible. Let me look that guy up. Duane. Don't think I've heard of him. Divorce Wrangler School. Everybody's got something they're selling. Oh, wow. Okay, 1 year ago. The divorce was finalized in April. And we would have celebrated 27 years this July. That's tough. What? Who is this guy? Wait a minute. No, that's not the same guy. Is that cowboy guy that we were like, to be a man? You guys remember like a year ago? Is this the same guy? You know, the cowboy guy. This guy's getting a divorce? Dude, this dude is the tradcon of tradcons. What the hell? Wow. To be a man. Like, we spent a good probably month or two with The Voice. is this real? No way. No, that's another dude. Okay. They look very similar. I don't know, man. I think it's the same guy. No. Yeah, it probably is a different guy. Damn, I wish I could remember that guy's name. Dang, we made so much, I don't want to say we made so much fun of the guy, but we had a lot of liberties with the guy. Yes, I am using OBS to stream. Hold on, let me just see real quick. I think I got a picture of the guy somewhere on here. We got to go back a long way, folks. Oh my God. I thought I had a picture of him on one of the thumbnails. Man, we've done a good amount of streams at this point. This guy! Is it not this guy right here? This dude right here. I know it's really small. I don't know how to make it. Let's see. Load faster! Wait a minute, man. I don't know, man. This guy looks pretty damn similar. We're about to find this out right now. Hey, Cesar Quintana. All right, let me just see. It. That guy. It is him. This guy's getting a divorce. Come on, man. If this guy's getting a divorce, man, I don't even know what to say, dude. I hope to God his wife had a dowry.
No dowry. It's my right.
And the video tried to do that for like 2 seconds.
Gratitude. I know as much of a real man as I aim to be, well, gratitude goes a long way for me.
Damn it.
Now
This is the promise that guy is giving you. And then at the end of that 40 years, if you make it that long. I don't even know if I don't even actually know if I played the video he was showing. I'm trying to hear his voice because then that's going to help us with the matchup, you know. To be a man. Like we were having fun with that for a while, you know. To be a man. What is a real man? I wish I could. Okay, JP reacts. Let's see if we can find his video real quick. JP reacts. What is a real man? I'm sorry. I just gotta know if this is the real guy or like the same guy, you know. All right, where's this feller at? JP. Come on, man. Surely it's in here. Oh, here we go. All right.
He's carried inside. What he needs is for those that he's carrying them for to recognize that they're there.
Okay. This was a year ago we streamed that.
Good afternoon. Dwayne here, Dry Creek Ranger School.
I mean...
And to respect it and to be grateful for it.
quick thought.
Okay. You know what? Let me just do something else here. Right click. I'm just going to type in Dry Creek Ranger School and see if I can see that image of him. Wrangler School. I'm sorry. This guy's getting a divorce. I still don't believe it. I'm going to need a second source on this, man. I'm going to need a second source. Dry Creek Ranger School. Dry Creek. What? I think this is the guy. 1.7 million followers. Dry Creek. I don't know, man. I'm just doubting. Nah, it's looking like him, man. It's kind of looking like him. I'm like 80% sure it's him. Okay, damn. We got a lot to do right now. Dwayne Noel. Noel. Dwayne Noel. All my kids should be raised to be providers. Okay, I think this is him. This is him, man. This is the same guy right here. Okay? Yeah, this is the dude. Dwayne Noel. That's Dry Creek Wrangler School. I think it's the same guy, Legends. If anybody sees to the opposite... Now, let's see if he's really getting a divorce, though. See, that's the part that I just am not believing. Okay, rumors. We got rumors on TikTok. Yo, welcome in, man. I'm glad you're able to catch me live. Shout out to you, brother. I like that profile pic, man. That makes me want to go outside. Shout out to you, dude. Sorry, let me just catch up with these chats real quick, see what the deal here is. What the hell? Oh, okay. Most of you guys, 90% said that the gaming would be positive. Klaus probably has the worth of about 10 votes on that. So that kind of balances out to 50-50. Let's see. Oh, hey, Suvaya. Divorce is so out of hand, women have lost their damn minds. Yeah, they have. I mean, you know, with the economy going the way it is, I think people are going to suddenly start to remember. Good to see you, Suvaya. It's been a while. Real quick, let me just check something real important. We got 21 people in here and 13 likes, man. If the other, 8 of you guys, if my math is right there, can just hit the like button. I know it's a pain in that, you got to pick up your phone, you got to unlock it, and then you got to hit like. If you can do that, that'd be fantastic. I know we're supposed to watch this divorce video, but like, I want to find some, if there is some kind of, if there's some kind of video of him talking about it, then I think that would be the thing. So I'm going to say we don't have it confirmed that this guy is getting a divorce. Hey, I forgot to put on my purple lights. I don't think we have it on a good reliable source that that this guy's getting a divorce. So I don't want to like say that out loud. Shaka thinks it's another guy. Okay. Okay. Looks amazing. Okay, yeah, okay, maybe we just leave this one alone now. How about we just leave this alone until we have further confirmation and we go ahead and watch this video from this guy named Austin Williams. And see the divorce generation and see what he's got to say, huh? How about that? Let's do that.
In 1980, divorce rates reached their highest point in American history, more than doubling in just 2 decades. And this fundamentally reshaped the middle class. Divorce created long-term financial instability for millions of families. Newly single-parent households became increasingly unable to make ends meet, and children started growing up in broken homes.
Guys, and you remember our stream from last week where we looked at housing prices and costs and things like that? So all this stuff figures into these decisions.
And since then, marriage rates have been drastically declining from its peak in 1949 to its historic low in 2022. But behind these numbers...
I think if somebody like Rolo was here, he'd look at the graph and then he'd insert and say, creation of birth control somewhere around here. Okay.
1949 to its historic low in 2022.
Dwayne,
but behind these
man.
numbers is a much deeper story. You see, the reason marriage has become so unstable isn't because people suddenly decided they didn't want to get married, but because of how the institution of marriage has evolved over time. It went.
He's right about that. Marriage is like anything else, goes through a process and changes as culture does.
From a survival necessity, to a legal agreement, to a sacred vow, to a quest for love. And the second marriage became about...
A quest from love. Yeah, a legal agreement, I hope this guy mentions the dowry. Please say the word.
Dowry. It's my right.
If he doesn't say the word, I'll be a little sad, but, you know, we're here to add it in.
To a sacred vow, to a quest for love. And the second marriage became about love, the institution became far more fragile.
Okay. I mean, listen, man, so we're a minute in, and I'm appreciating what I'm hearing from this guy, so don't want to speak too soon, but it's making sense to me. Oh God, old guy and wears a cowboy hat. That's the guy. Okay. So we're thinking it's the guy. Due to Steven Crowder 2.0, I'm gonna have to just find a second source about his divorce. That's the only thing. You know, I don't want to. Hey, I think I got a super chat. Yo, DL Saint, man, thank you so much for that super chat. I'm gonna put that $5 into my dowry chest. I will try not to spend that $5 on a cigar. I will try to do good things with it. You know, like put it to my future marriage. Thank you so much. Man, I've been really appreciating your videos. DL Saint, with I Really Want to Know podcast, does he does these car videos as well as streaming. I think you might have been streaming tonight, actually. And I really like the videos. Let's see. I Really Want to Know podcast. I think you're called DL. Oh, yeah, here it is. DL Saint, comma, I Really Want to Know. This channel right here. You know, DL Saint was one of the first people to ever interview me on YouTube. He saw me somewhere and he reached out to me on Instagram and we did a live stream together. But I really do enjoy these videos, DL. Let me tell you. You know, if you guys are watching, I hope you guys go to DL's channel and support him. And I appreciate the stuff that you say. I hope this link works. I hope that works. But yeah, so man, thanks for coming in and leaving a donation, man. That's more than I deserve, tell you what. So I'll be keeping an eye out. When marriage changed from a covenant to a contract. I can't run with that all the way, Suvaya, because it was a contract for a very long time. I think it would be more accurate to say when marriage changed from, you know, an economic arrangement to being about love is when some of the most damage happened. Geo for show. Shah, look up. It may be bad, but we got to keep moving. Dry Creek Wrangler School. Oh, okay, man. Gamer, thank you. Thank you for doing the research on that. Let me try to find this real quick. It may be bad, but we gotta keep moving. Dry Creek Wrangler School. Let's see. Creek Wrangler School. Okay, yeah. I mean, you weren't kidding. Oh, this is a month ago, but we gotta keep it moving. All right.
Good morning. Dwayne here at Dry Creek Wrangler.
Okay, so this is to be a man. You gotta be a man. Because you gotta be a provider. All right, okay, guys, I know we just started the video, but I'm just very fascinated by this, so I'm just gonna listen to this for a bit. The comments are turned off. Okay. I mean, that's already telling you something. That's already telling you something. Do we got a transcript? I'm just seeing if we could just get to the word divorce here. The bad news is that Deanna and I are no longer together. Okay, there it is. All right, 3 minutes in. All right, fellers.
School. I'm inside today. We've gotten a lot of good rain that we really needed here.
This could explain the beard cut. And I say that because it's like when sometimes like see 1 month ago no beard, 1 month no beard. Hold on 1 second. It may be bad. May 26th. See that? Beard. Then 2 months ago. Okay. maybe this is about when, this might have been about when he realized that they were going to get divorced. Because it's like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, sometimes if you go through a really bad breakup and you're really heartbroken, there's a part of you that like wants to change identities a little bit, and like changing the hair, doing this can be a signal for that in some ways. So building a campfire, it may be bad. Yeah, okay. All right, let's just get back. Okay, I gotta kind of stop making fun of the accent. I do think that's a cool accent. It's just that's how we were making fun of it when he was getting on all the men's case. You know what I mean? Because you got to be a man. And I taught all my... All right, but anyways, let's see what's going on.
And but just the light and everything's not good outside. I tried out there, so I moved back in here. And so we're going to talk to you today in here. What happens when an unstoppable force hits an immovable object? Well, usually what happens, if it's truly an unstoppable force, it ricochets because it's unstoppable, so it has to keep going, and it's not going to move the immovable force, otherwise that would not be an immovable force.
Did not expect us to start off with the physics lesson, but very interesting.
So it would change directions, and it would keep going. Now, in this particular metaphor or illustration...
Shout out, Brute Man. Good to see you, brother.
Sometimes life is that immovable object.
Klaus.
There are things in life that we can't move. We can't change it.
I hear you,
As
Savaya.
much as we want to,
Thank
as
you for
hard as
that.
we try, as hard as everyone around us tries, sometimes the things that happen, and it's not movable. Now
you know, that kind of sounds different from like your typical tradcon. Well, you just got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get married to these ladies, and you know, we know it's bad. Suddenly, oh, well, yeah, some things are an immovable force and there's nothing you can do about it. Man, I ask God for forgiveness. I should, you know, we gotta be a bit more charitable here.
we can do two things. We can stop, and we can cease being that unstoppable object. Or we can ricochet and go off in another direction.
Okay, going off in another direction. I'm imagining a MGTOW, kind of, you know, that MGTOW symbol of like the road going straight, and then there's like a fork basically going left. So another direction.
I just filled my
Is he MGTOW now? Okay.
Hippo up, so it's a little bit energetic right now.
Man, a cigar would be real nice right now, just pointing that out.
In all the years I've been making videos, 4 or 5 years now. Oh, by the way, those who are asking, SMS, Meerschaum with some Cornell and Deal.
Most replayed right here, so this is what...
Out of all of the videos I've done since I started, whatever it was, 4 or 5 years ago, this is going.
Real quick, shout out to the 27 people watching. We got 17 likes. If the other 10 of you can hit the like button, you know that's going to take the stream to the next level. So if you could please do that, I'd be very grateful. I know it's a pain. I know you got to roll over. You were sleeping on your stomach and you were getting ready to fall asleep, and now you got to roll over and look at a bright screen and hit the like button for me. I would really appreciate it if you did that, though. Oh, come on, Caesar. Come on, man. $49.99. That's more than I deserve. That cannot be spent on cigars. That needs to be put into the dowry chest. Man. Thank you so much, Caesar. I swear that's more than I deserve, man. That's more than I deserve. He's going to tell us real men, man up and pay. Man, I feel so bad for this guy because I feel like so much of his persona and image is built on like just having this masculinity thing figured out. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is getting divorced. This guy. This is a bad day for the tradcons right here. I didn't even with all this stuff, I didn't expect to see it happen. I don't know. I knew it could, but I just wasn't expecting to see this video. You know what I mean? Caesar, thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. All I will say is that yes, if I wouldn't be surprised if this video ends up in that direction, though, about being a real man.
It's gonna be the hardest. It's gonna be the hardest one to make.
And he turned the comments off. I don't know. Like, I get it, but it's another signal of something. And, you know, not that it's not justified. This man is going through a dark night of the soul right now. I mean, he shaved the beard. That was like 40% of the brand. You know what I mean? God forgive me. I just, you know.
And, but life has...
Even better than a cigar. Nice, Gio.
And so the videos have been very few the last few weeks.
Because he can't pay attention. It's just like when you get hurt like that, like you can't think about all this YouTube stuff. Like you don't even feel like you're living life. Like you feel like you're standing outside of your body and that none of this is real. You're just like, this is my life right now? Like I'm getting divorced? This doesn't even like compute. This doesn't even compute. Of course he can't focus on YouTube. He didn't want to deal with the smoke. Yeah, no, he did not. No, he did not.
Because there was just a lot that had to be figured out and a lot that had to be taken care of. And a lot of things that had to run its course. And so let me give the good news first. The good news is the school will be starting back up again. Okay. I didn't think it was going to.
I mean, I could see that. The school's going to be starting back up because divorce court's going to be like, hey, you can't just quit your money stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we need you to work because that's what we think your income is. Like, he's looking at possibly lifetime spousal support. I mean, for a marriage this long and knowing this guy, his wife was probably a stay-at-home mom. I mean, this is the word. Why are they getting divorced, man? I hope he explains it.
With everything, I thought we were done.
Financial Frontier, great to see you, brother. Shout out to you, man.
But then, I'm not. The bad news is, Deanna and I are no longer together.
Oh, man.
And that just is what it is. It's not something that
It just
sudden.
Is what it is. I can hear John from It's Complicated hearing that line and being annoyed by it right now. Oh, JP, man, thanks for the super chat, brother. Man, you guys are being real generous tonight. I appreciate that. JP says, been a minute. JP, are you from the 209 area code? Been a minute. Had to show some love. Always love tuning into your streams. Can't tell you how many times I say you can't make this S up. Thank you so much. Sound effect. Man, thank you so much, bro, honestly. Shout out to you. I gotta have some like better sound effects for the super chats, honestly. So far, all I got is this.
There was a dowry or a bride price.
But man, thank you so much. You know, I'm gonna give you the alpha male.
I just wanted to let y'all know I'm an alpha male.
So thank you for that, man. This is one of those you can't make this stuff up moments, man. Honestly, I didn't even think about this. You know, it's like, look at him, man. And he shaved his beard and everything. Like, it's just different. It's just different. You see what happened to Akash Singh? Yeah, there's still update videos on him I saw posted last week. Like, there's stuff going on. He's got it real bad. And I saw that he unfollowed his, like, close friend. I think he, like, unfollowed Andrew Schultz, and those guys are, like, really good buddies. So it's like, why would you do that? That part's really unfortunate. This guy is 60 for real. I think I just saw some of that news right before the stream started. I think the Tates were arrested in Florida, I believe is what's going on. It's a little odd, too, because they went to Florida like a year ago, and the governor's like, don't come back or we'll arrest you. And they're in Florida now being arrested. So that's odd. But, you know, the day most men... Oh, man. The day most men adopt the gold pill mentality, the world will be a much better place. Thank you, Gio. Which state, I wonder? Yeah, I mean, I want to say Texas, but I'm just stereotyping. He could be in Virginia, especially with the tobacco pipe like that. I want to know what his wife says is the reason. Yeah, and I think they have like 4 kids. I mean, they probably all just have beautiful, I mean, I'm just assuming this, beautiful life. Was this the man speaking about manhood and marriage? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. That's why this is so like just out of left. He was the one telling guys, you know, about if you just do these, you know, trying to, man.
It's not something that come lately. And it's something that we
Certainly
have been trying.
Where's Matt Walsh?
Work on.
I know. Matt Walsh better fly down there and help this man out.
And fix for 5 years now.
They look at that. 5 years that, man, Coach Greg Adams needs to react to this video. We need a Coach Greg Adams segment on this because I know he's the only one in the space that's going to be able to really properly give this the treatment it needs. And the reason I think a coach is because he talks about the divorce statistics, but he talks about how people are in marriages and they're unhappy. So when it comes to like the outlook of marriage, it's very negative, not just because of the divorce. It's also because people are in marriages trying to keep it together and they're just both miserable in them anyway. So he's in there. He was trying. This man was on YouTube talking about being a masculine husband provider. And for 5 years, he was trying to, his wife was wanting to leave him and he was trying to put duct tape on a failing relationship. And he was out here just, you know, doing all this kind of stuff, man. This is something. This is something. Oh, man. Oh, man. Look at that. The father of 7 grown children. Husband of 30 years. 7 grown children. 5 grandchildren. I mean, you know, like this is the TradCon of TradCon. I mean, he looks like a good man. Honestly, like I think he's a good man, you know? And he's getting divorced. Look at this. Okay, no, that's 3 years ago. Gosh.
And it just come to the point that
oh man, knockout.
It was inevitable. It was time to do something else. And for those
Didn't know
who've
about
been here and been
the Tates. Yeah, I think it just happened. DL, like this is probably within the last couple hours. I think Crowder could help him better. He has, yeah. I mean, God forgive me for laughing. You're right. You're right. He probably could, honestly. He was saying Tradmaxing was the answer. Yes, exactly. Exactly. News about Tate brothers getting arrested was 3 hours ago. Yeah, so that's real new. I mean, I don't even know if anybody knows what the charges are. Maybe you can probably see that on public websites now, especially if they're in custody. Divorce trumps however masculine you think you are. Absolutely. Another TradCon L. Shout out to you, Tacticus. Good to see you, man. Where is Ben Shapiro? Where is Michael Knowles, Ben Shapiro, and Matt Walsh? I'll tell you where they are. They're getting ready. They're getting ready to firing squad this guy, metaphorically, that is. Like, they're going to try to look for anything this guy did wrong and then say this is why it led to divorce. It can't be his wife's fault to these people. It's going to have to be his fault somehow. And then they're all going to have to, like, excommunicate him from the community. Like, he can't be within their purview of consciousness. He needs to be outside of what is acceptable by any means necessary. That's what they're working on. You know, if they're going to address this, it's going to be about how he just didn't, you know, provide her enough or something.
To school and been with us and know us who are shocked.
Oh yeah, this is a shock.
This is a testament to how much she and I still respect each other and how much we have endeavored to keep our own difficulties.
See, he's being amiable. He's saying this, like, when you're going through the heartbreak and you still love someone, like, obviously, I don't know. I'm just playing armchair psychologist here, but it's like, that's the kind of stuff someone's saying when they're secretly hoping that person's going to get back together with them. And I don't know, you know, it's probably way too early to accept that it's done.
Without spilling over into public.
He looks like he fought for the CSA.
We still respect each other.
The CSA. Child Support Association.
We wish the best for each other. We're not fighting. There's no
show this to Michael Knowles.
There's no, it's just, it became after.
Oh my God, Luke Nielsen. Yeah, oh, shout out to you, Luke, man. I'm glad to see you here, brother. Even the Be a Man bro has fallen. Yeah, see, Luke remembers who he is, man. Man.
After years, it just became what needs to be done.
What needs to be done? How do you justify this? See, this is where they almost sound like that. None of this talk is traditional right here. Now it's starting to sound a little progressive, if you ask me. You know, we're like, well, you know, we split amiably. We're on talking terms. We just got to do what needs to be done. We were having troubles. Like, no, it's supposed to be, for these folks right here, it's supposed to be till death do you part. These are the folks, you know what I mean? So, oh, well, we're both this and that. Like, no, man, like, you got to come out and be like, yeah, man, she decided to throw this to the wind. She decided to throw 30 years, 7 grown kids, everything just to the wind for some reason. Because she wasn't happy with this empire that we built. She wasn't happy with 7 kids growing up and probably being married themselves and this beautiful ranch that we live on and all these amazing things and having the respect of the community. That wasn't enough. Mountain Man has 1.6 million followers and still not enough status to keep his wife. I'm sorry, guys. I just feel like, this one just kind of has me a bit over the top. Could you imagine if this guy went the Coach Greg Adams route and then suddenly has like a sugar baby? I mean, sorry, man. If Steven Crowder, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, and Ben Shapiro can't help this guy, I think it's up to Coach. You know what I mean? Oh, man, this one's bad. This one's bad. This one's bad. I think they won't talk about it and talk about the Tates or something. They will redirect. Yeah, very possible. Shah, could a lead attorney collaboration be in the works in the future, maybe next year? I would love to see a person, former child support agency worker and a divorce lawyer. That would be a fun conversation. I would appreciate that. In my debate with Sartain and Rollo, I did mention, because Sartain brought up Sexton, and I mentioned how I'd love to talk to Sexton. But lead attorney would also be a fun conversation. So I don't personally have a line of communication with them, but it could happen. That would be really cool. That's a great idea, Knockout. Yeah, his heart is broken. Yep. Yeah, I mean, where I paused the video is, yeah. For me, the beard shave is the big thing, because like that, and I'll be honest, I got really heartbroken one time, and I had longer hair, not like in my profile picture, like it was longer. And I remember like a week into that, I decided to cut my hair to about this length. Like it was I just had to like become new in some way. I couldn't like see the same face in the mirror. You know what I mean? It just needed to look different. So it felt, I felt terrible at the time. So when his beard is a big part of this masculine persona identity, to just cut it. Like it matches, the timeline matches with, I've never seen any video of him where he looked clean shaven like this, Lamau, that Simpson bit, we're a family. That's when, that was, oh God, when Millhouse's parents got divorced. We're a family company. This man, LeVar Ball, these trads are getting hammered. Yeah, they are. Honestly, I think Pearl needs to cover this story too. She should cover this. That would be a cool stream if she did. But I really want to see Coach Greg Adams discuss this.
Nobody's happy about it. But as is said so often, we just ask that you guys respect the privacy and let us continue to go through what neither one of us want.
Please respect the privacy, even though our entire brand has been about this, how we got it going on over here. Like, and listen, I get the respect the privacy part. I get that what he's going through is horrible. Like, man, just look at his eyes right now. And I feel bad digging into it this deep, but it's like, this is a man. He looks like he's looking at a ghost, or he is a ghost. He's just like he just can't believe that this is even reality right now, He just can't believe that this is even reality. Oh, come on. Shout out Caesar. That's some class A humor right there. The The wife got the beard in the divorce. Yeah. he couldn't even keep half of it. You know what I mean? It was like, okay. All right. That was, oh man. You know, I do hope he comes out of this and is able to find some kind of happiness. But this is the worst kind of divorce. I think this is what Coach calls a gray divorce. I mean, he's 60. Like, to be getting divorced at this age, this was not the plan, of course. You know what I mean? Like, this is not getting divorced at 28 or 34. Like, this is getting divorced at 60. Like, this was your whole thing here. Like, if for some reason she just needed to pull the ripcord, that part is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, man.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
I'm sorry, man. I'm back. Poor cowboy gonna hit the cowboy gym and listen to country music. Tell the prophecy. Hey, man. Hey, he can hit a solid banger. He can get a hit song out of this. Dan the Man, Mr. Pitt, Luke Nielsen. There is an AI song in this story somewhere. I don't know what it is, but this can become a song. Is all I'm just gonna put that out there. No pressure to make the song. All I'm saying is all of the pieces are here for a banger, is all I'm trying to say. Sexton is more mainstream, though. Lead is good. Yeah. Well, I think the difference is between them is Lead Attorney definitely leans, and I would say sympathizes more with the manosphere plight. James Sexton, I don't think so much. I think James Sexton almost has this kind of open, like almost progressive view of things. So it's like, if I had a conversation with both of them, I think I would get two different answers, is what I really think would happen. Like, if I had a conversation with Lead Attorney, I think I would get one thing. And if I had a conversation with James Sexton, I think I would get another thing. And like, if by some miracle I had a conversation like with both of them, it would be really interesting to compare and contrast the similarities and, you know, and differences.
But has become necessary. So you'll notice the comments are turned off on this video.
Okay, at least he's addressing that.
I will be continuing on here, but the comments are off, and that's because people lack judgment. And the people will get on here and they'll ask questions that's none of their business. They'll make comments that they have no business making. And if I turn the comments off on this video, it will give some knobhead with no sense of decorum.
You know, this is a long way of just saying, I can't handle reading these comments right now. I can't. I'm hurt. I feel horrible. I don't even feel like I'm in my body. I feel like I'm 2 feet to the right of it. I can't read these comments right now. Because normally some dolt coming in and leaving a 2-bit stupid comment, like as annoying as it can be, when you're your normal self, like you have thick enough skin to be like, F this comment, whatever. But he's so hurt. He can't handle it. It just hurts so much, you know?
Opportunity to think before they speak later on. Okay.
It's not the commenters. We understand the level of comments that you get on YouTube, you know. Yo, Brute Man, thank you so much, man, for that super chat. We got 300 Indian rupees here. Thank you. Save the 50 and 10 super chats for your future conjugal fund. Thank you. Your future wife will come into the marriage the equivalent of a 21st century dowry. Absolutely, she will. Absolutely, she will. Keep these $3 for a nice cup of tea. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I think I will use that on a cup of tea. I think I'm going to really need a cup of tea after this one. Oh, man. It just, look, he's looking off into the distance again. Like, this one almost has me speechless in a way. Man. He's just looking. And, you know, he's going to go through the phase where I think he blames himself. Because you got to think about what his way of thinking is and his values and how it's like the man solves everything and all that. He's going to have to come into a serious, just kind of like head on with all those things and do a revaluation of all his values, or an evaluation or revaluation of his values. And if he's coming from this mindset, he's going to be blaming himself. Like, this is the what could I have done differently look right here, you know? Yeah, that's just too much. Thank you again, Brute Man. I do appreciate that, honestly. I really appreciate the generosity tonight from all of you guys, man. That means a lot to me. That's true about Sexton. What neither of us want. Dwayne, it's pretty clear that at least one of you wants what's happening right now. Yo, shout out Kyle Wells. Good to see you. He didn't want the smoke. Yeah, very much. Add to that, Sexton is a 1% guy. Elite is not. I don't know, man. Some people have every right to comment since he based his whole brand and worldview. That's what I mean. Like, it's just too much for him to handle. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Dan. Or you'll get some comments that amount to accountability. Yeah, he just wasn't leading right. You know? If you just provide for a woman and you make sure all her needs are met, then she's going to feel safe and not want to do this. You know, you just gotta roll up your sleeves, you know, you just gotta pick up an axe and then you just gotta start chopping wood right in front of the kitchen window so she can look at you while you're doing that. That's gonna, you know, that's gonna solve all this. Just chop some wood, you know, then you want to stack the wood and then just put it there so you're ready for the winter time. Yo, Jay Cote, man, welcome in. Can't be out of touch on marriage only to get the consequences that were easily dismissed in past videos. Yep.
So I'll not be discussing this any further anymore. I have nothing negative to say. I have no disrespect.
They're like, it's too early to, like, they're going through the whole thing right now. Like the court case and all this, the estate's going to be dissolved. You know what I mean? Man, you know what would be even crazier? I'm not saying that this happened, or obviously we don't know, but it's like, there could have been, as Coach Greg Adams liked to say, another bull in the ring. 5 years they were trying to work this out. 5 years is a long time. A lot of things could happen in 5 years. A lot of things could happen in a day. A lot of stuff could happen in 2 hours. Maybe even in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm getting something from Reddit. It says social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate arrested in Miami. U.S. Marshal Service tells AP. 26,000 upvotes 3 hours ago. Oh, by the marshals too. That's some serious stuff. On foot of an extradition request from the CPS in England and Wales. Okay, so it looks like it might. Well, I mean, I have to look into it further. It could be that Florida had some charges for him, and but then they'll also honor this extradition request to England. Man, yeah, that's going to be a tough one for them. I don't know why they came to Florida. The governor, the last time they were there, I think it was the governor who quite literally said that if they came back, he would have them arrested or something. I remember that, like, 'cause something happened then. And so it's like, and then he went back to Florida. Like, I don't know if it's a publicity stunt, but this may not have been I don't know.
There's no anger between her or I.
No, too early to say that.
A lot of stuff.
He just ended a 27, or she just ended a 27 year. I mean, I don't know who did, but it sounds like It doesn't look like it was him who ended it. So the anger is going to come, and it's going to come in waves. Like, I don't think you could just hand wave this off and say, oh, I'm not angry about it. No, you're going to have to deal with waves of anger and resentment and sadness. And it's just, it doesn't matter who you are or how manly you are. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
You know, the public doesn't know and doesn't need to know. And normally I would not even do this, but the channels are so big and there's so many people coming through that it's not something that...
Well, I mean, there is some... I think... Listen, and I can give him credit for being honest about what happened. I actually appreciate that. He did speak, you know, about these matters and had a certain view on it. So I think it is important to come clean about this. That's honestly probably the best thing for him, is coming clean about this. You know what I mean? Like, I just mean for his own psychological well-being. Like, it is better to get this off his chest than lie about it. Yo, Karen Tekar, good to see you, man. Shout out to you, brother. But yeah. Mountain Man Top says, I don't want to single Dwayne out, just wanted to provide as another example of TradCon words not matching the actions outcomes. Exactly. Yeah, I don't think we should be piling on this guy. He's dealing with it. Like, he does not need us kicking him while he's down or anything like that. It's just so ridiculous is the problem, you know? If he wouldn't have done it, somebody else would have. So he did it to himself and set the narrative. Yeah, that's a good point. They have been arrested again. Yeah, they got arrested like 3 hours ago or so. 100% there was another dude, maybe more than one. Yeah, that's the thing too, DL. You know, sometimes these like couples that really look like they play the part or like fit the role or the kind of stereotypical real proper family look, some of them will be like... Some of them will have that whole double life of that you just wouldn't expect, you know? Real talk, though, just don't read the comments. Yeah, very much so. Tate's twin got arrested on human trafficking. Tate's twin. You just mean like both of the brothers? Yeah, oh, man. See, Shah, exactly. Thank you, sir. They will be booked into Dade County Jail. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know how much more of this we need to watch. I mean, let's just, you know what? It's a 12-minute video. Let's just see.
Can be kept private forever in a situation like this. So the best thing to do is just get out, put the truth, and lay it out.
Put the truth. I respect him for that.
Okay. So that's that. Now,
I don't even blame this guy for hitting the pipe this many times. I mean, I get it. I mean, he's probably been sitting there by that tobacco thing, this tobacco rack over here. Which, I mean, this is, you know, I appreciate a good tobacco, but going through something like this, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he's been, you know, being with the leaf for probably more hours than usual.
A second to collect your thoughts there.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, it's...
With everything involved in a situation like that, I think that it will be clear and understandable to a lot of people that I won't be staying here in Kentucky.
Oh, he's in Kentucky. Okay.
And
yeah, he won't be staying here because it's like he needs to have a new like environment. By the way, this is my pipe. I haven't actually used this pipe, but maybe it'll... Come on, man. Focus. There we go. I've never actually used this, but I did get this once. See, it's all dusty, man. I really got to clean this thing. That's not good. It's been sitting on this desk for a hella long. There we go. Yeah. Maybe that's a little bit better. Yeah, see. It is just easier to use a cigar, though. But, you know, one of these days I'll use that pipe. Eyes, look me. Yeah, no, DL. Listen, DL, I mean, I think any guy who's been through a really bad heartbreak recognizes a lot of these expressions that he's got going on right now. You know, it's just any of the guys who've been through some type of getting blindsided from a woman, like, knows this.
We have to begin our lives, and I need to go back to doing what I do. But there's a lot of reasons that I can't do what I do here in this situation. So there is a very big opportunity that has come up that has
kind of
presented itself back out west again. And I'm not going to lay it out right now until things are clear and definite. But what I see as a possibility in the future is I will be moving back out west.
I agree.
It's
unfortunate, man. I mean, it really is.
Starting the school up again in 2027. And it will be a combination of the horsemanship
See,
school.
like, there's just, I mean, I could sit here and blame, like, something is just so wrong. Like, the fact that this guy,
But I'm also
this guy right here, like men like this have to put up with this. Like, there's something seriously not right. Like, this makes me think about Pearl's, you know, is marriage worth it for men question. I mean, like, this guy has to put up with this. Something is broken. You know what I mean? It's broken. It's messed up. The deal is destroyed. Like, this guy can't pull it off, you know.
Also going to open up further more. It will be a type of a men's retreat. I've had tremendous amount of
a type of men's retreat
interest in requesting this of men who just want a few days to just get away and to come out and to sit around and smoke cigars and smoke pipes and talk and reconfigure. And then
see, and the fact that, like, he's saying this now, like, this is a nod to the prior content he was doing being geared towards men. You know, maybe there'll be some positives in it in the sense that now that he's going through this, he can probably genuinely be there, and maybe other men can genuinely be there for him. We might end up getting some really positive stuff from this man now that he's really going through it. And I don't know, like, listen, I'll be honest with you, some of these tradcons will just double down and bury their head further into the sand than it's ever been. But I'm at least trying to, like, see a silver lining here is all I'm saying. Like, I want to believe that I think this is a good person right here. I don't think this is a bad guy. And I would love to see him come out of this in a way that's good. I really would. You know what I mean? On his latest video, he mentioned he was sick, piss and blood. Yeah, see, I mean, you can't just say we're not angry at each other and all this stuff. Like, this process is really just beginning for him, you know. Yeah, and maybe this, I think this idea of the men's retreat, like, this could definitely be good for him too, you know. When your woman hits you like this, you have to get outside as soon as you can. Get back in that saddle. Yeah, I agree. And the challenge with that too, DL, is that you don't want to. It's like you just want to stay in bed. Like, you really have to force yourself to do it. And that's where, if you have, like, a good group of male friends, really helps out. Like, when I was going through a tough situation like that, it helped me to hang out with men in my life that were always a couple years older than me. Like, they were the older brothers in my life. You know what I mean? Like, when I was younger and we knew each other as kids, you know, they were like a few years older. So it was like getting back in touch with them and spending time with them really helped pull me out of it. You know what I mean? That was one thing Rolo mentioned in the debate. Well, because we were doing super chats and somebody was asking about their son who was going through a false, it was like a false accusation thing. And I had mentioned the getting out part, and Rolo added that it would be good to be with like an older, wiser, like a mentorship figure, which I thought made a lot of sense to me. But yeah, exactly. Get your head right first, then go outside. His story breaks my heart, but I went through it, and listening to him preach to guys like me was distasteful, but I still hurt for him. I know that ruined. Yeah, Luke, I think that really sums up the totality. See, look, it's like every time I pause this video, there's an expression that tells this whole, you can't not see it. You know what I mean? It's like he's looking into the distance. He's looking into the past 30 years, or how a 30-year marriage we're talking here. That's the length of half a lifetime for some folks, you know? It's just, you know, but I totally understand it. And it's, Luke, someone like you who's been through this and you know it, then when you hear someone like him who hasn't been through it, now he's going through it, but before saying all these things, it's just like, how can you say this? You know, it's probably very annoying. On his latest video, he also mentioned how he realizes that not keeping a men's group has hurt him. Okay, so I wonder if he had one before and then he stopped keeping a men's group or something. That's interesting. Not to get off topic, but how we saw Erica Kirk behave during Charlie Kirk's memorial. I think that was her like dancing around. I think I might have seen part of like a clip of that. It gave credence to Rollo's quote, "She will bring her new lover to your funeral." That red-pilled a lot of guys. I remember seeing that, or I'm pretty sure I know what clip you're talking about when it was making the rounds. 10 years off his life from the stress of the past 5 years. I'm talking about the cowboy dude, not Shah. Hello, yo, Odisu, man. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming in. You know what? I'm not going to play the song now, but at the end of the stream, I do got to play Dan the Man's Gold Pill Classic, Shoulda Listened to Shah. That one might be worth listening to. So, oh, man.
You know, we ride horses and there'll be a shooting range and campfires and cooking out. So that's also good.
Man, all that stuff sounds fun, by the way. I know that's really good if you're heartbroken, but if you're not heartbroken, I think it's something worth doing, man. Getting out there, doing the shooting range, man. Even if it's not like, you know, firearms, you could bring out your archery equipment. And then you guys get like some good beef, man, some type of meat or whatever meat you like. Throw it on the grill, man, oh man, cook up some meat. Yeah, have some cigars, man. See, that sounds like a good time right there. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe somebody brings out their dog for some reason, so then you're hanging out with the dog too. And then maybe there's a stream nearby and you guys can go fishing. And then somebody brings their drone out and then you could fly the drone around and then get some cool shots. Everybody smoking cigars, man. That sounds like a good time. That sounds like a dang good time, man, if you ask me. Yeah. That sounds like a good time. All right.
Going to be something we're doing it and other things. But that's what the future holds.
Say it's the hardest thing you ever had to deal with in your life.
I hate this. Okay.
Yep.
But it just is what it is. And you can't just lay down and die. You can't shrivel up. You got to keep going. And you can't keep going with... You have to step back and you have to look at things realistically and logically. And things are what they are. And so getting all crazy and emotional about it and everything, that doesn't do anybody any good. Okay? So that's what the future holds.
The angry part will hit when he gets the bill presented in court. Yeah, because see, he's taken this, we're both cool with each other, but yeah, he just hasn't gotten there yet. He's gonna see what's gonna happen. He's gonna be like, I thought we were cool with you. Like, he's literally going through all the steps. I mean, the manosphere has this mapped out, has this whole process mapped out. I mean, for years now. And as he goes through this, the betrayal is going to hit him more than once. It's not going to be one knife in the back. It's going to be another one and another one and another one. I mean, God, maybe I'm wrong about that, but that as you go down the line, it's going to keep seeing things, you know. I don't know. I can't say what happened in the past 5 years for him, but it's just, I hear what you're saying. Man, I hope not, gamer. I honestly hope not. You right on the money for Klaus? Yeah, Klaus says, I would like to see you and Sartain do a video. That would be a great conversation. Just you two, no Rolo. Yeah, I would say, you know, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Rolo mentioned in there he might, like he said he might send me an invite to go see them in person. So it's, I don't know if they will. I haven't heard from them, but it's possible, you know. She probably couldn't stand the attention he was getting online and self-destructed. That's an interesting angle, Suvaya. We have to decide to be happy or we will find every reason to be miserable. It's kind of an interesting thing too, because it's like you think like when your spouse is doing well, that's good for both of you guys, seeming how you guys are both part of the same household. But it reveals something about how one person maybe views their marriage, if that's the perspective that they take. Interesting perspective. Yeah, he stopped talking to his friends because of his marriage. That's what it seems like. Like that 5 years where he was trying to fix things. He probably thought if he just, I mean, I don't know, maybe he just stopped talking to his buddies and tried to put all his attention on his wife or something. Exactly. Fact on steroids for Suvaya from Bruteman. Women have to decide to be happy and not miserable for flimsy reasons. Dan the Man says, this is Shah. I'm glad you're going to play since we need it in times like this. Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do. This video is just free therapy session. Oh, gosh. Yes, you got to keep going. So turn on the comments. He's going to have to face that music pretty soon.
So my thing to you today is some of you have hit a wall in life. And it might be a relationship. It might be something that you've tried years and you can't fix it. Well, don't stop. Don't just sit there spinning your wheels. Okay? Ricochet. Ricochet. Bounce off of it and go in another direction.
I want to see it positively, and I can give him credit for, you know, trying to, you know, like not giving up. He's already MGTOW. He just doesn't know it yet. Yeah, I mean, this conversation has, I mean, I already mentioned the MGTOW symbolism when he was talking about Ricochet at the beginning, but yeah. Yep. There's going to be some MGTOW going on here. He's never going to retire now because of this divorce. That's the unfortunate part about this. Unfortunately, might be true. Shah X in the lead attorney, I'm calling it now. I would rather see that than James Sexton, to be honest. Nothing is wrong with him, but I think the lead attorney would deliver better. Maybe it'll happen, man. God willing, you know. I'd like to see Shah and Mike's show to share the gold pill with more people. That doesn't sound like tobacco. It sounds like there's a little bit of water in here. Like it almost sounds like it's going through a little chamber of water because it almost sounds like there's bubbling, which would be interesting because I actually didn't know they made these kinds of pipes that would have that. So it's very possible. That would probably cool down the smoke a little bit more and lead to a smoother hit. So funny how he huffs on the cigar when he mentions stressful memories. Yeah, I get it. He's shaking like crazy.
And that's you being an unstoppable force. Okay? So I'm just going to stop here. This is enough for today. I've been needing to do this and I've been hating to do it and I didn't know how to do it. I assure you that the situation between Deanna,
see that? Oh, he was looking off.
Is such that I will be sending this to her and she will be going over it and I will not send this out.
See that? It's like I'm going to send it to her and she's going to be looking at it. So he's looking for her approval to put this video out. Like he needs to get the okay from her first before he even posts this on this channel. That's a whole nother thing too. It's not just his channel. It's not just his Wrangler school. It's her Wrangler school too, right? So it's like all this stuff can get caught up in the court. You know what I mean? Like what happens to this channel. since it's the channel of the marriage in some ways. You know what I mean? Like this is, you know,
without
all of this could be for court. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, and then I made sure to send it to her before I posted it. You know what I mean? I was trying to keep everything cool, you know? This is yet another one of those, see, this is another image right here, looking off into the distance.
Without her. And without Rick, and I will not send this out, without her. And so if there's
He's shaking. You're right. You're right. DL, look at his hand. Look, it's shaking.
And so
look at that. Look at that.
Anything else, if there's one thing from this that
the stress is crazy. Like, oh yeah, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. He might want her approval so it doesn't blow up in his face. Yeah, I mean, for court, this whole channel, this whole business is going to be looked at by the court. It's going to be divided by the based off that. Not very unstoppable force of him to ask her permission. He thinks he's going to alpha his way out of his divorce is in for a rude awakening. I've seen that kind of hurt before. Shake him out. Yeah, it's not even funny. Like, this is not funny at all. Like, this is really not good. This is bad, you know. This is very bad. Yeah, I mean, Luke, you know. Oh, man. This guy hasn't been hot with alimony, maintenance, etc. in the family court. It's not so easy to ricochet after stuff like a divorce. Many men, yeah, I know. That's all, like, you know, yeah.
I hope somebody gets encouragement from. Whatever you're going through, you're not the only one going through it. It's just life, man. It's just life.
This is hard to watch. It is.
We do the best we can. We handle things the best we can. But things still happen.
Very true, Dan.
Things still happen. All right? It doesn't necessarily make you evil or bad. It's just you hit an immovable object. And you learn from it. You grow from it. And you keep going. And I know that there are a lot of folks out there who've been watching this channel for a long time, and you hold it in high regard, and you hold myself in higher regard than I have earned and I'm worth. And so if you can take a little bit of comfort in the fact that life can come down squarely in the middle of Dwayne like this and Deanna, then I'm not a freak. And I'm not.
The only, like, I mean, none of this is positive for him. I guess in the sense, like, his kids are all grown. He doesn't have to worry about fighting for custody and child support and all this stuff, but it still sucks. Like, it's still going to suck. You know what I mean? You know, that's a whole other thing. It's just
not worthless if it comes down on me the same way. Okay? We're human, yes. And Deanna, then I'm not a freak. And I'm come down squarely in the fact that life can come down squarely in the middle of Dwayne like this and Deanna.
Shout out, username. Good to see you, brother.
Then I'm not a freak, and I'm not worthless if it comes down on me the same way. Okay? We're humans, and
I didn't even catch
weaknesses,
what he was saying
and
there.
we have ignorance, and then there are things that even the strong and the wise hit that they can't fix and they can't get through. And what makes them strong and what makes them wise and what makes us strong, you and I, and what makes us wise.
It's almost like he's talking like a hostage. You know, he's still hostage to the romantic ethos. He's still hostage to this whole impending situation. Like this, I don't think he's gotten to the point where he can give us what he really thinks about it. And I don't know if he will do that, but it just sounds like it's like, you know, like blink twice if you're in trouble. You know what I mean? Kind of, like, in a way, you know. Oh gosh, I'm missing some of the chats here. Yeah, this is hard to watch. This is sad. Poor guy. It really is. Men of faith, please say a prayer for this man. Yeah, absolutely. I think that should be done. He hasn't hit the immovable object yet. Court is going to steamroll him. It's like he knows he doesn't want to face it. He's trying to gaslight himself into I'm fine, everything's fine. Yeah. I mean, I think he's just still hostage to all this stuff. All judges have the same middle name. Have you ever heard of the 1,000-yard stare? That's what it looks like. Yeah, I have heard of that before. Yeah, it does. It's like he's just looking out into the far distance. The real reason, because marriage is a scam. Shout out username. Good to see you, brother. I can totally feel for him, but he still doesn't realize the train will hit later. All his worldviews are going to be shaken to the ground. Very much so. Very much so. Because it's like he's going to have to contend with something about my beliefs brought me into this situation. Like he's going to have to reevaluate his values, you know. His hands are shaking. He's looking sad, sick, and half dead. I hope he doesn't God willing not, you know. Being lonely, sad, angry, etc. when the divorce bill is presented to him by the court. Let's see. Maybe that's why he's moving out west. He knows she's going to dismantle his school and ranch. Yeah, I mean that's what he signed up for. I don't think there was any of this.
Your dowry, it's my right.
Again, I don't like what's happening to him, but he is one of the guys who has to learn the hard way. That's an unfortunate truth there. He was very much he was contributing to a certain narrative. We'll say that, you know. Man needs to take a trip to the Philippines and get a citizenship there and never come back. He's grasping at straws to maintain his worldview, even though it's being shattered right in front of him. Tough. Yep. Good to see you, Amy. He's going to give everything to her. I hope his people are able to talk. Man, DL, that's honestly a very salient point, because he's still held hostage. He thinks if he capitulates that she's going to be like, oh yeah, I can see clearly now. You know, I know this is the man that loves me, and we're going to get back together. And I don't know what I was thinking. You know what I mean? And this and that. But I've seen a lot of guys in child support with that same mentality. And I remember talking to the guys separately and talking to the moms separately. And the guy, I could see it wasn't going to work, because when I talked to mom, she had a completely different attitude. Like they were going scorched earth, and the guy hadn't put that together yet. It was really bad, you know.
As we deflect and we go on a better path and we keep moving, we are unstoppable. Okay, so I'm going to quit there, and we'll be back on more. I'm going to be building the channel back up again, more content. It's been
like, look at that, seeing like it's completely hurt the momentum of the channel. This whole thing, like he's had a good thing going, providing for the family. They're gonna leave this beautiful estate to their 7 kids and these grandchildren. And mom decides to pull the plug. Grandma, in this case, decides to pull the plug, dissolve the estate. You know, she has her own plan and agenda. We don't know what that is. We don't know what that looks like. You know, it clearly has nothing to do with the good of the folks.
Brutally hard for me to just sit down and talk.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, we can all understand that.
Going to get more back into more
Mr. Pitt, good to see you, brother.
Western content, cowboy content, horse content, stuff like that. And we're just going.
See, now it's just going to be about Western living. Like, it's like moving away from probably the how to be a man talk. You know what I mean?
In another direction.
Let's all learn from this, guys.
I appreciate your guys' support, both for myself and for Deanna in this. Okay? And we'll catch you guys next time.
You know, man, I hope he gets through it. You know, I genuinely do. I genuinely do. Irreconcilable differences has probably taken out more men than war. Gosh, I know. And irreconcilable differences, for the folks that don't know, I'm sure a lot of you do. That's That's the legalese for no fault, basically. No fault divorce. Brother Pitt in the building. Shout out to Mr. Pitt. I've seen it a few times. He's in the I hope this or that phase, still seeing his woman as if she's not enemy number one yet. He hasn't realized she's the demon in the room. Exactly. Exactly. His whole talk has been without the confidence he used to push. Exactly. He's literally a destroyed man. Yeah, you could say he's like a shell of himself. Even this, look how forced this smile is. Like he's trying to smile like this, but it's not like, you can see it. It's just not, it's very tough for him. He's literally a destroyed man and doesn't even see it yet. He's trying to convince himself. Very true. Very true. So yeah, there's no comments. It really is the same guy. I'm just going to move away from this. We're just going to move away from that. Shout out DL Saint. Please subscribe to DL Saint's channel. And I love it when I open up my phone and I see a video from DL Saint right there. You could see, look, I watched this whole one today and I was just listening. So, you know, beautiful. Oh man. Okay. God, I don't even know how we're going to. All right, listen, before we get back into this video, I think this is a good time to share some of the artwork that Dan the Man made for us today. Let's just do that, and then we're going to get into this video, and that'll probably be the thing, man. That one was tough, man. I did not expect to watch that. I didn't expect to see that. That video is the nail in the TradCon coffin. I mean, I thought I saw plenty of those before, but that one is that's like the real nail. You know, that's the stake that goes into the vampire's heart right there, you know, if you needed one. Gosh. Real quick, I want to give a big shout out to Dan the Man. Dan the Man's been having some fun with AI, and he's made some storybooks for us. I think these can be classified as a children's novel in some ways. So we got a Goldpill Tale, The Case of Lady Dowry. Okay, so this is interesting. We got, here's your protagonist. I kind of like the noir look here. So we got Shah here with the detective, and there's a goldpill. And then we got a kind of TradCon looking guy. And then this guy looks like some type of alpha bro. And then we got the blue hair is kind of giving up what this is right here. Dang it. I wish I can have a free flow on this to move it to the left. That's all right. This guy, I don't know if that's male feminist or something. Very possible. It's a novelty children book. Okay, thank you. The game is cold. Remember that, gentlemen. It can happen to anyone. Just ask Tom. Yeah, Tom Brady's another one. I mean, yeah. I'm wondering what Matt Walsh will make of this. This is a hard one to explain. It absolutely is. If she is willing to destroy her marriage and his entire legacy, she'll chew him up and spit him out in court. He will be devastated. Yeah, hope is not a strategy. Coach Greg Adams. Absolutely. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Irreconcilable differences. She got bored and left for no reason. Same here. And you know what? It really is for no reason, because he was sitting there for 5 years trying to figure out what the reason was. But it's, I'm sure if he would have figured it out, or there would have been one, he would have did everything he could to solve it, you know? Okay. Page 2. Okay. So we got an interesting image here. Oh, it kind of reminds me of like Batman in some ways. The rain fell over. Oh, let's see. Can we do a, okay, we could do a full screen on that. The rain fell over the city like cold, hard pennies. Lady Dowry, the beloved and highly influential advocate for reciprocal marriages. Very nice. Yes, for equal marriages, balanced marriages, was scheduled to give a historic speech to the city's lawmakers. Her words surely would have passed the new dowry bill. All right. But she never got to speak. Before she could take the podium, she drank a poisoned cup of tea and collapsed. Oh no. The feminist poison, or the gynocentric, some gynocentrist TradCon. It probably wasn't even a feminist, to be honest. Probably poisoned the tea. Only the quick thinking of Detective Shah, who rushed her to the hospital, kept her heart beating. And by the way, I didn't read this yet because I wanted to save it for the show. All right, so we're trying to revive Lady Dowry. By the way, this one of the earliest images of like the gold pill. See if I can find it in pictures. What? Oh yeah, it was this one right here. This image. Because back then I was saying like the only time you'll ever see me be chivalrous is for Lady Dowry, because somebody has to stand up for her. Should have listened to Shah right here. This is the thumbnail cover for that. So we're going to listen to that on the way out. Shout out to the Cowboys. Okay. At the city hospital, the doctors shook their heads. Lady Dowry was trapped in a mysterious deep sleep, her breathing slow and shallow. The poison is rare, detective, the chief doctor whispered. She will never wake up on her own. The only thing that can break this coma is a legendary remedy. The gold pill. Okay, heck yeah, the gold pill.
There was a dowry or a bride price.
You must find it and find whoever did this to her. Shah narrowed his eyes. I'll find both, Doc. Or my name isn't Shah. Man, that's too cool. What a great idea. Thank you, Dan the Man. Let me just get us positioned here for viewer, artwork, and media, children's books. Okay. Okay, this looks like a Matt Walsh TradCon right here. We got sourdough bread being made. So this is the TradCon factory. Hey, man, if you want a sourdough wife, you just need to buy this gigantic diamond. That's what I'm getting from this. Shah's first stop was a high society vintage gentleman's club. There he found the TradCon members wearing stiff suits and frantically baking loaves of sourdough bread. We don't need dowries. That is something only in Asia. Yeah, we don't do that here in the West, even though it happened for almost 2,000 years, probably more. Their leader said, men have always been the solo provider. Women don't need to bring anything to a marriage. They just need to bake sourdough bread. A real man just needs to work 3 corporate jobs, marry a woman regardless of her past because she's been saved, and buy an overpriced De Beers diamond ring to prove his worth. Man, this is pretty good. Oh, look, we got a footnote. Oh, no, hold on. Shah took notes. They had a massive motive. The dowry bill would have ruined their dream of martyrdom. This makes me want to grow out my hair again. Do a choose your own ending version. Okay. Oh my God, it's Michael Sartain. Okay, we got our dating gurus have entered. Buy my course. Oh, fantastic. Thank you for this. Next, Shah descended into a smoky underground boxing gym to question the manosphere red pillars. And listen, and just for the sake of the record, they challenged us. Like, we never went to them. They came to us just to set the record on that. They were busy punching heavy bags, posing in front of mirrors, and loudly selling online courses. Look, detective, we don't agree with those tradcons about marriage. Their smug leader laughed, tossing a gold coin while surrounded by glamorous models. But you still have to provide for them. You just have to run Dread Game forever so they know they are replaceable. Besides, women hate bringing money into a relationship. Buy my course, bro. Just look at my high-value lifestyle. They hated the idea of a mutual reciprocal dowry, another strong motive. Ooh, man, this is good stuff. Okay, so now we got the blue-haired guy. This kind of reminds me of like a Destiny or something like that. Like, that's the only influencer I could think of that's like had blue hair that was like kind of engaged in the space. Oh, no, it is an influencer because see, they got the podcast mic and there's the webcam. All right, let's see. It is Destiny. Okay, it says it right here. Shah's investigation led him to a sleek, modern house belonging to a prominent blue-haired streamer named Destiny and his feminist wife. Dowries must be outlawed, his wife declared angrily, slamming her hand on the table. They treat women like property, reinforce the patriarchy, and lead directly to domestic abuse. Yeah, that's what the feminists tried to say, pretty much. Her husband, Destiny, looked up from his glowing computer monitors. Plus, if it wasn't for dowries, my wife wouldn't be allowed to have a boyfriend. Relationships should just be about vibes, man. They both wanted the dowry bill dead. The circle of suspects was complete. Okay, we got tradcons, red pill gurus, buy my course gurus, and then we got, you know, progressive feminist types. Yep. Back in his dark office, Shah stood before his sprawling crime board. Red string connected photos of the tradcons, the red pillars, the feminists, and the blue-haired streamer. Man, this is a good book right here. I'm really appreciating this. Every single one of them had a motive to silence Lady Dowry. Every single one of them benefited from her deep sleep. This is me over the last couple years putting it together. Like, here's your tradcons. There's your buy my course gurus. Okay. Every single one of them benefited from her deep sleep. But who was the mastermind? Who had bought the poison? The clock on the wall was ticking. Lady Dowry... Man, this is tight. This is like a mystery thing, too. Lady Dowry's time was running out, and the clues were spinning in his head. I'd buy this as a hardcover. I absolutely would. Who did it? Shah roared in frustration. The only person we haven't seen in here yet is like Paul Elam or Peter Wright. Who did it? Shah roared in frustration, slamming his fist directly into the center of the crime board. The wooden frame shattered. The board collapsed onto the desk in a heap of torn paper and splintered wood. But as the dust settled, Shah spotted something unusual. The wooden frame shattered. The board collapsed. Oh, gynocentrism. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, we got Peter Wright in the house. And Paul Elam, too. The wooden frame shattered. The board collapsed onto the desk. But as the dust settled, Shah spotted something unusual in the wreckage behind the wall panel. A hidden vintage newspaper. Okay, shout out to the vintage newspaper articles. And shout out to Peter Wright for that. The yellowed gynocentrism. Intrigued, Shah picked it up. In the margins, someone had written a series of frantic notes about the dowry bill and the whereabouts of the legendary gold pill. All right, this is beautiful. Man, I'm loving this. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This is fantastic. Okay, Shah rushed down to the printing offices of gynocentrism. And see, this is Peter Wright right here, because Peter Wright is the creator of gynocentrism.com. Oh, there it is. It says Peter Wright right here. There, sitting behind a desk covered in ink and typewriter ribbon, was the wise editor-in-chief, Peter Wright. Heck yeah. Man, Dan, you have really blessed us with something beautiful tonight. Peter smiled knowingly when Shah showed him the paper. Ah, the gold pill. I wrote that many years ago, detective. The secrets to finding it are printed right there in the margins. Treat the newspaper like a map. Man, this would be a cool video game, too. Following the clues and the ink stain trail across newspaper office in the newspaper's 1940s of the city, Shah in search led him deep into an old dusty archive where the glittering golden key was hidden away. Okay, page 9. Shah sprinted through the rain-slick streets back to the hospital. He burst into the room and carefully placed the gold pill into Lady Dowry's hand. Slowly, this kind of has like Sleeping Beauty kind of go into it. Slowly, the golden light of the pill faded, and Lady Dowry took a deep, sudden breath. Her eyes fluttered open, and she looked up at the detective with a warm, grateful smile. "Thank you, Shah," she whispered. "You saved my life." Lady Dowry, the one respectable woman in the whole city. This is like Gotham City, by the way. Lady Dowry was safe, and the fight for the bill would continue. But when Shah asked her who had poisoned her tea, she shook her head sadly. She hadn't seen a thing. The tradcons, the red pillars, the feminists, and the blue-haired streamer were still out there in the neon-lit city. Man, this is tight. We might be getting a sequel. Going about their lives, each glad she was silent. Shah walked back out into the cold, hard rain. Turning up his collar, the victim was saved, but the mystery remained. The end? Question mark? Oh, man, that's too good. That's too good.
Your dowry, it's my right.
Absolutely fantastic, Dan the Man. That is fan-freaking-tastic right there. That's fantastic. Suvaya, great stream. Have a great night. Thanks for coming in, Suvaya. You have a fantastic rest of your night there. Sartain is a salesman. I love this. Oh, that's exactly how I feel. It was either going to be Andrew Tate or Rollo Tomasi, but I chose Michael because of the recent debate. Oh, this is great. The feminists have succeeded in outlawing dowry in Britain the year 1888 and in India after independence. Lady dowry is technically outlawed here. That's true. Yeah, I think it was like in the 60s, about maybe a tad bit after that. We need Myron Gaines, Tate, and Pearl to appear at some point. And we can get all the characters. To be fair, I had no clue how to put Paul Elam in the story. I'm open to ideas. I mean, you know, you had Peter Wright in there. Like, you can basically what you could do, like, since it was like a newspaper office, you can have both Paul Elam and Peter Wright in there. But it's okay, you know. That's so cool. Oh yeah, there are many spelling errors. That's all right. I mean, I was able to piece it together. Now, guys, the fun doesn't stop there. There's literally a second story that Dan the Man made. So we got a second story here from Dan the Man. I'm going to read it now. I want to read it now. Okay. All right, this one looks hilarious, by the way. Oh, my God. Oh, I meant to say blue pillar, but I have no idea. I have an idea why it said blue hair feminist. Oh, I see. I have no idea. Okay. Bravo. Well done. Absolutely well done. I purposely left the ending open to interpretation. I like that. I think that was a good creative choice. That's fantastic. That was my first time reading it too, man. I love that a lot. I really love the artwork, and like, you guys have really blessed the channel and myself with the amazing artwork you guys have provided. And it's really important too, because it's like, in order to convey the message, it's like, you know, discussing it in speech and being kind of highbrow about it, you know, even when you try not to be, it's tough. But like, when you have stuff like this, it helps to use different mediums to get the message across, you know. This is why civilization always had storytellers. Like, you can't just have a philosopher go in there and explain all these things about how it's supposed to work. Like, it's better when you have a mythology around that. Like, if you're trying to get this across to like the younger segments of society and stuff like that. I purposely left the ending open to interpretation. Lady Dowry is the only dame allowed on Mount MGTOW. The great indoors. Hey, shout out to you. Thanks for coming in. Not sure if this is my first time seeing you, if I have before, but thanks for joining us here in the tavern. And we certainly agree with that. Okay, guys. Novelty children's book number 2 from Dan the Man. This is fantastic. Okay, I'm already liking this. We got the gold pill spear, and we got the dowry ethos as the shield. Man, I got to share these with Peter Wright. A gold pill tale, Shah's dowry. Look at that. We got the romantic ethos dragon that needs to be pierced in the heart. This is amazing. Look at Matt Walsh in his like white knight, outfit. And then we got a Gandalf guy. There's a princess here. I hope she's got a big dowry on her. That's all I'm going to say. And then there's some king here. We got mystery and fantasy. Oh, that's fantastic. This book should be mandatory reading for everyone new to the gold pill. It's kind of like a getting started guide. Very much. Yeah, that's very true. Super fact. Elam should be captain of police or the mayor. Oh man, I appreciate the compliment. I can see Paul Elam being like chief of police or something like that. Oh man, you know where they kind of got that old school thing where it's just like we got 3 flipped over cars, a burnt down building, 2 officers, you know, lost a couple fingers. I think that was in Rush Hour. But by dang it, if you don't get things done and I don't, you know, like, I may not like your ways, but gee golly, I am glad we have you on the force, you know, because you took care of that. Somebody needed to get it done. And this is why you're getting promoted or something. All right, a gold pill tale, Shah's dowry. Man, this is cool. All right. Okay, once upon a time, in a kingdom not so far away, lived a sensible man named Shah. Shah wanted to get married, but Shah was very worried. Marriage was terribly expensive, and the dark shadow of no-fault divorce loomed over the land. threatening to take half of a man's castle and his favorite horse. The shadow of no-fault divorce. Oh, man. That's pretty... Man, this is some cool artwork, by the way. I really like this border artwork here. Like, look at that. That is cool. Oh, man. That's cool. Chapter 2, The Knight of Compliance. In his despair, Shah was approached by a Tradcon White Knight. There we go. Yep, so this guy has made an appearance in both of the books. The knight clad in shiny armor told him, "You must work 3 jobs, ignore her past because she got saved, and buy her an overpriced De Beers diamond ring to prove your worth." 3 jobs? What the heck? Before entering the quiet woods, Shah reflected on his path. For years, he had worked at the kingdom's Bureau of Child Support, obsessed with understanding how the family system had devolved. It was there, while translating the ancient code of Hammurabi, that he spotted an early child support law alongside mentions of both bride price and dowry.
Do you have...
Oh, wait, no, that wasn't it.
There was a dowry or a bride price.
Intrigued, he read endless academic scrolls, reached out to Peter Wright, the only man who would speak to him about these ancient truths. That is what happened. And I did tell that story to Dan the Man. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly how the idea transpired. So before the dowry stuff, you know, I was looking at family law and I was looking at child support because that's what I did, right? And what happened is there was a certain point where I was asking, like, I just couldn't understand how we got the laws that we got, you know? And that's what I was trying to research and figure out, you know? And I did like that first interview with Pearl, and I was doing a lot of studying for that, like even before that. But basically, like, I was trying to learn everything about how we got our custody laws, how we got our child support laws, no-fault divorce. I kept going further and further back. So I kept going further and further back in my research. Like, how did we get no-fault divorce? What was at-fault divorce? How did we get at-fault divorce? I just kept going back and back, basically. And what happened is I went so far back, like, I ended up looking at Hammurabi's code. Hammurabi's code is the eye for an eye one. Everybody knows about eye for an eye if you've taken, like, even, like, grade school history class, you know. Definitely by, like, sophomore year of high school, you probably know eye for an eye from Hammurabi's code. So I was looking at Hammurabi's code and I found a line in there that specifically sounded like child support. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh wow, like this is, look, it's an ancient child support law. How funny is that? Ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? It was just like, where's my audience laughter? Ah, that's not it. Whatever. Anyways, oh yeah, it was like that. This is, I will show you the exact line. This is it right here. Right here, line 130. This is Hammurabi's code, by the way. See that? The code of Hammurabi. Okay, this is Yale Law School, the translation that's on there, okay? If you go to line 136, this is what it says. Oh God, I'm sorry, 137. If a man wish to separate from a woman who has borne him children, okay, this is the child support part, or from his wife who has borne him children, then he shall give that wife her dowry and a part of the usufruct of field, garden, and property, so that she can rear her children. When she has brought up her children, a portion of all that is given to the children, equal as that of one son, shall be given to her. She may then marry the man of her heart. Okay, so what it's saying is that if you're going to separate from your wife and she's given you children, she has to have usufruct of some of your property in order to raise the children. So if you have a field, and it mentions that specifically, usufruct of the field. The reason that's child support is because every year the field produces crops and the crops are sold for income. So you're either going to feed your kids with some of that or you're going to sell it in the market and you're going to have income. So that's your maintenance. So instead of you selling the harvest, the wife is the one doing it, and it's there for the maintenance of the children. That's child maintenance. That's child support. Okay. In the same line, it mentions that he shall give the wife her dowry. So when I was reading that line, I was like, what the heck is the dowry? Like I had vaguely heard about it before, but after I kind of got over the funniness of child support and, you know, the code of Hammurabi, it was literally reading this that I was like, I need to really do a deep dive into dowry. And then I started searching academic databases looking for anything I can find that mentioned the dowry. And then that blew the whole thing wide open. And then what happened is I started talking to Peter Wright about it, gynocentrism.com, at gynocentrism on Twitter. And we became hot on the trail. And then Peter Wright came to me with newspaper clippings because he decided to go look into the newspaper archives. And man, that just like, from there, the whole gold pill opened, basically. And look, take it easy, Brute Man. Thanks for coming in, and thank you so much for that super chat, man. You take it easy, brother. It's not even that line. Look, if a man wish to separate from a woman who has borne him children, or from his wife who has borne him children. Oh, I'm sorry. We read that line. If a man wishes to separate from his wife who has borne him no children, he shall give her the amount of her purchase money, that's the bride price, and the dowry, which she brought from her father's house, and let her go. So not only is dowry and it's such a unique document in that both bride price and dowry are mentioned.
There was a dowry or a bride price.
So I was reading this and I saw both of these. I was like, okay, so I saw both of those and I was like, I really need to look into this. Like this set me on the pathway, basically. It was the code of Hammurabi that did this. Okay. And there's a lot more lines here. Just as an honorable mention, because everybody knows this one. Oh, which line? Oh, here it is. Line 196. This is the eye for an eye one. If a man put out the eye of another man, his eye shall be put out. An eye for an eye. So, you know, that's the part everybody hears about, but they don't tell you about the rest of this. They should really start teaching these two lines in grade school right here. So yeah, let's get back to our story though. All right. Okay, man, I'm sitting here sweating. We've had one heck of a night tonight, folks. All right. Before entering the quiet woods, Shah reflected on his path. For years, he had worked at the kingdom's Bureau of Child Support, obsessed with understanding how the family system had devolved. It was there while translating the ancient code of Hammurabi. I like that it's got cuneiform script on the actual picture. That's pretty cool. That he spotted an early child support law alongside mentions of both bride price and dowry. Yep, and I just showed you that guy. I just showed you guys that you got, you know, on the actual Hammurabi's code. Intrigued, he read endless academic scrolls reaching out to Peter Wright, the only man who would speak to him about these ancient truths. Oh, dang it. Oh, crap. This one was supposed to come before. Shah was not satisfied. Dude, I'm sorry, guys. This is supposed to come after this page. Okay, so let's do this again. So chapter 2, yeah, so the White Knight, Matt Walsh was giving me his understanding. Shah was not satisfied with this answer. Without saying a word, he turned his back on the knight and walked away. The Tradcon knight fell to his knees in the dirt, weeping dramatically, and wailed at the heavens, "Who is going to save Western civilization?"
Oh, somebody please think of the
Okay, that's pretty funny. Yeah. And then it's this page. Okay, so then I wasn't satisfied with the Tradcon, so then I start doing the research, basically. And this is where we hit Hammurabi's code, and we reach out to Peter Wright. Then that takes us to here. Shah walked deeply into the quiet ancient woods. There, sitting upon a mossy... Oh, so this is Peter Wright. There, sitting upon a mossy stone log, he met a wise sage named Peter Wright. Shout out to Peter Wright. Every time I play it, Klaus, it literally copyrights me. I got to come up with the solution for that. I think I just got to make it just the huge tracts of land part. The sage held a golden scale in one hand and yellowed historic newspapers in the other. Do not despair, Shah, Peter said gently. We used to expect women to bring a dowry to a marriage. Long ago, unions were based on pragmatic decision-making, not the chaotic magic of a romantic love match. And we got Peter right here. We got the scales. We got the newspaper articles. Man, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I got to show this to Peter. Page 5. This made great sense to Shah. With this newfound historic knowledge. Oh, man. Look, they got their... Are these ladies with their hands out, like just asking for money? Like they're just aghast that I'm like, nah. With this newfound historical knowledge, Shah went back into the world to look for his dowry.
Your dowry, it's my right.
By this, Shah meant he was looking for a woman who would actually bring a tangible financial contribution to the marriage, rather than just high expectations and modern entitlement. I like how this one has like sharp ears for some reason. Soon, Shah heard a grand royal decree. The king's daughter was trapped in a high stone tower guarded by a terrible fire-breathing beast named Romantic Ethos. King's daughter. Now, see, this is going to be a huge tracts of land. He who slays the dragon, the king's heralds declared, shall wed my daughter, and she shall come with a very, very sizable dowry. That's what I want to hear. Exactly.
Which one of these broads has the richest father?
Yeah, what's the dowry
there we
situation?
go.
Exactly.
Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Wow, that's so that is so cool. Man, this is some class. This is some fun artwork. They are poppers. Yes, exactly. Yeah, these are the poppers right here. Okay. Shah knew standard weapons would fail against the magical beast. He gathered rare golden pills and brought them to the village forge. Working through the night, he melted them down with great precision. He forged a mighty golden spear named Goldpill and a heavy golden shield named Dowry Ethos. Man, that's too cool. I really appreciate the spear version of the Goldpill weapon. Shah marched to the tower. The beast, Romantic Ethos, hissed and tried to blind Shah with bright pink smoke and illusions of unconditional, unearned love. But Shah raised his shield, Dowry Ethos, to block the illusions. With the swift, pragmatic strike of his golden spear, Goldpill, he slew the dragon once and for all. Man, this is a cool story. The king was over... Oh, there we go. We got the ledger of assets. There's mutual contributions. Here we got... This is the dowry chest. These are the deeds to the huge tracts of land. We got mutual funds in there. And there's also cash being handed straight over to me. This is amazing. And then it's all documented. This is fantastic. The king was overjoyed. He happily wedded his daughter to Shah and handed over a massive wooden chest, overflowing with gold, land deeds, and sensible mutual funds. It was a very pragmatic, financially stable, and highly respectful wedding. Very nice. Many years passed, and Shah became the new king of the land. Oh man, this is one heck of a story. His coronation was a grand and glorious event. Everyone in the kingdom attended to watch him receive his crown. Even the tired, overworked tradcons who were still working their 3 jobs. Job 2 deliveries. That's so funny. Man, that's too cool. That's too cool. King Shah adjusted his heavy golden crown, looked out over the crowded cathedral, and smiled. I have saved Western civilization, he said, and they lived logically and wealthily ever after. Man, that reminds me of another picture from like one of the first pictures that were made. This one right here kind of reminds me of that. It's another classic. Man, that's too cool. Dan, shout out to you, bro. We gotta... I have these saved in my big dowry notes folder here. We got to do something special with that. That was too good. That really was too good, man. Let me catch up on these chats real quick, and then we're gonna get to our back to this video. That's some cool art, certainly. I gotta go. DL Saint, shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. I'm doing a Lit Saint episode tonight. Outstanding show, brother. Thank you so much, DL. We're gonna have to catch that show. I'll have to do the rewatch on that. Salute to the chat. See you guys next time. Salute. This could be a nice board gamer. Yeah, I know. There's so many uses for that. That's too good. Wow, shout out to the 33 people watching. We got 28 likes. Thanks so much for that. This could be a nice board game or card game. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I'm glad I caught that later. The Book of Three Jobs. Yeah. Shah, are you going to cover Panama making paternity fraud a jailable offense? Man, I did not see that. I'm gonna have to look into that. And I believe that that's happening too. Wow. Shah studied. Very much so. Scheduled laugh. Okay, Shah, gotta go. Nice stream. Oh, yeah. Take it easy, Brute Man. Thanks for coming in. And then a certain came across Medea. That could be a character in some ways in one of these books, possibly. Ancient Alimony, too. Yup, there it is. Username. See that? This channel is highly underrated. Ah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I love that clip. Sadly, it's too dangerous to play. Unfortunately, I'm very tempted. It's all good. I can play it in my head. They can't control that. Huge tracks of land. You know, I'm going to try to shorten the clip just to... The thing about the clip, though, is the clip is so funny. Like, there's so many parts of the clip where it's like, but I don't like her. You don't like her? What's wrong with her? She's beautiful. She's rich. She's got huge tracts of land. Hey, again, thought of here. The Tates are arrested again in Miami. It would appear so. Tarv, shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, it looks like they got arrested like 4 or 5 hours ago. We've been up for 2 hours, about 5 hours ago. This is cool, Afghan. They live logically. That was my picture too. Okay, you made that picture back then. Man, Dan, thank you. I appreciate that a lot, man. That was fun. That was fun to present. You have such a positive and graceful chats. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Tarif. Okay, let's go ahead and just finish this, and then, you know, we'll call it.
And so in this video, I want to tell the story of how marriage evolved, why divorce exploded, and the consequences that followed. And it all starts with going back to the beginning and answering one very simple question. Chapter 1, the necessity of marriage.
All right. Let's talk about the economics.
Now, in order to understand how marriage fell apart, we first need to answer a very simple yet highly misunderstood question. Why did humanity find marriage necessary? Because marriage is a universal concept.
I mean, I hope he talks about property and property transfer and, you know, but there's other reasons. But okay, let's see.
It exists in every country,
Child
across
rearing.
every culture in some form. And I know what you're thinking. Austin, people get married because they love each other. Well, the truth is, love as a primary driving force of marriage
is relatively
didn't
recent.
exist until around the 18th century.
Which is like in the scheme of civilization, very recently. And even in the 18th century, most normal people still weren't doing this. Like, you had to like be in a certain position to pull this off. You know?
People got married for thousands of years before that. Granted, love still existed, but
Matt Walsh and the Tradcons just seem to forget about that.
it often appeared after marriage, not before. Instead, marriage primarily existed for stability and survival. The concept of two people committing to each other
Stability and survival, mutual contribution.
started to appear when human beings settled down from hunter-gatherer lifestyles and moved to agrarian civilizations. In this world, survival became more dependent on stability, labor, and cooperation.
Yup, because now that you're settled, that means you are now like owning property. You know what I mean? And there's just, I mean, like early on for settled agriculture, for a long time it was bride price because there was rudimentary agriculture. But then as things got more and more sophisticated and land holdings between different families started to vary, that's when you start moving into dowry. But yeah, now private property ownership is becoming a thing.
And two people working together long-term drastically increased the
Long term. Dan the Man says, but guys, if you want another children's book, tell me what the genre and stuff you want to see. Man, Dan, thank you for that. If I think of some stuff, I'll let you know. If anybody else does. I always appreciate seeing what you guys make in the AI forge there in the Discord. So I understand that takes time, and man, I appreciate you guys for spending the time to do that, really.
Chances of survival. People weren't necessarily looking for a soulmate, but they were looking for a yoke mate, which is someone who will help carry the burdens and responsibilities.
You know, I think this is a pretty good video so far. I'm gonna hit the thumbs up on this.
Of life together. And how did they find that person? Well, for most of history, it wasn't an individual decision, but it was a collective one with your family. Factors like reputation, work ethic, religion, land ownership.
Say the word dowry!
Your dowry, it's my right!
And social status were.
But okay, fine. You know, we can work with this, but you know, right here, he could have just had one word that said dowry, but you know, we're here to input that.
What determined the partnership? Not.
There we go. By the way, this solves hypergamy.
Emotional compatibility. But above all, marriage legally tied a woman to a man, which one, transferred responsibility of the woman from the father to the husband, and two, guaranteed that the man's children were his biological heirs. And not my opinion, that's just how people thought back.
Hey, what's up? Yo, Yellow Pilled Programmer. Welcome, man. We've been having a fantastic episode tonight, Yellow Pilled Programmer. So no pressure, but later on you might want to see some of the fun stuff we were up to. Shah, can we talk to you in Discord or IG? Discord's easier. Sometimes people reach out to me in IG. But you know, I don't like, sometimes I post stuff related to this content on IG. Typically, like if I'm doing something in person, like I'll post stuff on my story. But Discord is easier because IG, it sends stuff to my request folders, which I will see, but if I don't catch it, Discord tends to be a little easier. So, but whatever, you know, I could try to make it work.
A day. However, humanity found marriage necessary because it made life a lot more stable.
There's the economic contribution. When the way marriage is supposed to work is when both people come together and merge, they end up in a better economic position than they were both as individuals.
But over time, as society evolved and started to organize, marriage eventually became one of the most important institutions in society. Chapter 2, when marriage became an institution. Over time, as humanity began to settle into farms, villages, and early cities, life became more complex.
Okay, more complex. There we go.
More structured.
This guy's hitting the salient point.
In these societies, people now own land, accumulated resources.
Yep, they own land. Now, the important thing that he needs to talk about, too, he didn't mention land ownership and social status, but is the difference in the holdings.
Raise livestock and pass down wealth.
There we go. Okay, he mentioned it. Yeah, the transfer of property through generations and wealth, inheritance.
And with that, society found it necessary.
See, now this is where paternity starts to matter a lot. Like if you're all just nomads and you're just roving around in a band, then like, yeah, you can just, anybody can just be doing it with anybody. And it really doesn't matter like who the father is, so to speak. Like it all just, you know, and humans might not even been able to put together exactly what determines paternity. Not to mention, if you're roving around with your band of people, like, you guys probably look fairly similar to each other. You know what I mean? In some ways, unless it's like something with a completely other tribe and, you know, that. But anyways.
To formalize marriage into a legal institution in some of the first ancient civilizations, started to develop formal systems surrounding marriage.
By the way, all three of these ancient civilizations, look, we got ancient Egypt, we got ancient India, and we got ancient Greece. All of these were dowry paying. Like they all switched to dowry pretty early on because these were the most complex civilizations compared to like civilizations in the Near East. Like, you know, the Israelites are still doing bride price for a while until they finally urbanize. But ancient Greece is already doing dowry at that time.
Started to develop formal systems surrounding marriage. Marriage became deeply tied to social and economic structures.
There we go. Social and economic.
there was a dowry or a bride price.
It answered who carries family names, who has legitimate claim to land and wealth, and who inherited property.
And how much wealth is each party bringing? That's quite literally, when you look at even ancient marriage contracts, it lists that in there. It lists the wealth that they're bringing into the marriage. And the dowry is a big part of that.
And eventually, as religion became more influential in society, marriage transformed from a practical arrangement to something moral and spiritually.
You know, like if I got married and I was having a wedding, and I really can see this in my mind, everybody who sits at a table at that wedding, there's going to be a little placard there. And it's going to say who's getting married, and I'm going to put in there, viewable for the contract. This person marries this person, and these are the contributions into the marriage household. So it's public. You know, that's how it used to be. People would make that public, or it was known. You know, like I will have a marriage contract placard out. When people come in to sign in the wedding book, they'll be able to read the marriage contract there and see who contributed what into that marriage. You know, for everybody to see, for that purpose.
Significant, with ceremonies and expectations surrounding the relationship. And this gave marriage a new kind of authority, where it's something sacred, lifelong, and breaking it is morally wrong. In essence, to something moral and spiritually significant, transformed from a religion became land and wealth, and who inherited property. And eventually, as religion became more influential in society, marriage transformed from a practical arrangement to something moral and spiritually significant.
See, now, if I had to make one change here, there certainly is the moral and spiritual part of it, but for a long time, these two are running parallel with each other. Like all the way up into the 1800s, there's still the practical arrangement. This part doesn't just disappear and it only becomes moral and spiritually significant. What it is before you get to the religion part, you're negotiating the economics. Once you guys get that figured out, then you go and you get the moral and spiritual part figured out. So it's like, it's not a direct transformation where they're abandoning this. For a while, these two are walking hand in hand. Until, you know, romantic love comes in. Shah, would you consider 1970s Italy and 1980s Greece as a modern dowry society? Right around 1970 is when Italy abandoned the dowry. They wrote it out of their laws, abolished it. So just prior to that, you can say that. 1980s, in the 80s is when Greece abolished it too. But if you go like 10 or 20 years before that, you can pretty much say it was. Cyprus abolished it in the 90s. So through Cyprus was like a mostly Greek ethnicity on the island, and they were practicing dowries into the 90s. But yeah, you know, if you're looking around that time, you can say that. Crypto dowry for a modern audience. That'd be interesting. Bringing Bitcoin or something. To be fair, as you said, Shah, we have a collective amnesia as a society about dowries. Very true. I'm getting ads during this live stream, by the way. I hope you're getting YouTube dowry. Yeah, that's where the super chats are going. They're all going into the dowry chest. Yeah, I sometimes forget that you guys get ads, so I know that you guys can't hear me when that happens. Whenever I set the streams up, I do set the ad frequency to conservative. Like I try to do as minimal ads as I can, but like I can't. Back then, you used to be able to stop the ad from showing, and then they took that away. Like it used to say an ad's coming, and that would count down like 10 seconds, and then you can click skip ad or like don't show it. And then they took that away because maybe they just took it away from me because I kept hitting don't show the ad. Because like for me, like the ad is, I don't know. You know, I don't know what you're getting out of the ad. It's pretty negligible anyways, but I also would prefer people don't have to deal with that.
With ceremonies and expectations surrounding the relationship. And this gave marriage a new kind of authority, where it's something sacred, lifelong, and breaking it is morally wrong. In essence, marriage became a very important formal institution because it let society advance. Stable households created stable communities, and stable communities created civilization. Marriage evolved to be one of the primary building blocks of a society.
Well, yeah,
but
you can say the household, which is comprised of two married individuals, is like a building block of society. And that's where it's like a marriage dissolving is so bad because it's like one of these building blocks is being, is being destroyed. And it's like almost kind of becoming a burden, especially if that household had children, especially if they're minor children. But Shah, this all sounds so aromantic. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I had chat. And the thing about the romance too, it's like, we're not saying families shouldn't love each other in like a familial way, but it's like this thing where like the woman is on top up here and the man is down here. Like that needs to go away. Like that we're done with that over here. You know what I mean? So it's like that. When people talk about romance, like that's what they're talking about. The she's always right mentality. The happy wife, happy life thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, it's, you have to serve her and, you should be on one knee. You need to be genuflecting to this woman and holding out flowers in front of you. Like that's what they mean by love, like this romantic ethos.
As society advanced more and more, the household started to fundamentally change, which would ultimately reshape marriage itself. But before we
Industrial Revolution.
talk about that, I want to take a moment to thank Quince, the sponsor of today's video.
Shout out to Quince. Thank you for sponsoring.
To try, which I've been. Chapter 3, When Work Left the Home.
Okay, industrialization.
So marriage started out more as a business deal than a love story. But
yeah, and a lot of it too was like you would get married and it's like the dowry would provide like the seed capital for this new enterprise you two are embarking on. Like it's essentially about getting this household, especially on the lower strata, the means of production to be able to sustain a household. And in more of an agrarian society, like you need that. Like you need a little bit of land in order to cultivate, or whatever it happens to be in order to get this, for the husband to be the provider, like there needs to be some investment there. And on different levels in a more modern application, it's like, okay, he's a doctor. The wife and her family is going to invest into the medical office for the husband, basically, and the house. And I've read this in multiple places as regards to doctors. And then he's going to step into the role of provider. Like, if people think that the dowry system makes it so the man isn't the provider, like they're not really understanding it right. What it is, first of all, is it's respecting the man's provider status by providing a kind of contribution as a balance to this. And then it's really enabling the man to grow into be a better provider, especially to get people married sooner rather than later. So it's like, okay, let's get the household set up on a solid foundation, and then we're going to put water and fertilizer on the husband in order to grow into this provider role properly, Yo, Heroes Forge, hey, welcome in. It's good to see you. We've been having a fun stream. And shout out to Heroes Forge, man. He's been making strides on his channel. I saw you just hit the 7,000 subscriber mark, man. So big accomplishments on your end there. Shout out to you. Welcome in. Geoff Show, crazy how far modern men have fallen. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
The concept
modern
of
society
marriage started
really
to change when the household changed. You see, for most of history, the household was the center of economic life, where families produced most of what they consumed. But around the 1800s, that started to change. America began industrial.
I gotta share it now. Thanks, Dan the Man. We got another one. Man, Heroes Forge, you missed the storybooks. Dan the Man made some great storybooks. Secure the future. Yup, I will have literally one of these printed out for every table. Every table that has guests at my wedding will be able to see this nestled in there with the who's getting married part. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that photo. Thanks for the kind words, Shah. No worries at all, sir. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for that image.
industrializing, and work started to move from homes to factories. And this marked a huge shift in how the household operated. Instead of producing goods within the home, families now earned a wage and produced goods. And this fundamentally changed.
See, that's kind of like becoming part of the proletariat in some ways. Like, even before industrialization, like, you did have, and a lot of this could have been a slave class too, but you had households with different land holdings, but then you also had a landless class. So these people worked for wages because they did not have land. So they worked as hired labor on other people's land. In industrialization, in a way, you know, as it takes away from people's land holdings and people are working for a wage, it's in a way similar to that.
The structure of the household, survival became less tied to how much a family could produce by cooperating and more tied to how much income they could earn. And so instead of cooperating all day on a farm, men increasingly spent most of the day outside of the home working with...
It says Mountain Man Top sent a gift. I'm not sure how to click that, but thank you for that. It doesn't show me on my thing, but I see it at the top. I don't think I sent Unk Alert. I don't know what that is, but that sounds kind of funny. Oh, there it is. Now it's letting me show it. Thank you for the Unk Alert there. Oh, crap. Now I don't know how to... There we go. Do a lunch cast on them. I did present it. I might just cut it out of here and then just post it separately. Should be great standalone content. It really would be. 440 joules for Unk Alert. Luke Nielsen says, I shouldn't be throwing shade at the dude in the video, but he's very effeminate in his mannerisms and his voice grades. I'm holding on just to see what he says, though. Digesting the info. Yeah, I mean, I think he's doing a good job of making it simpler for presenting it. You know, I'm basically doing the part here of adding the dowry information into that. It seems like he's trying to straddle the line to, like, not, I guess, upset whether it's folks on the left or folks on the right in some ways. So it's, you know, he's trying to ride the fence a bit.
Wage labor jobs, while women increasingly took on domestic responsibilities within the home. And with that, the household starts to lose its original purpose. It is no longer the center of production and survival like it had been. Instead, it's a private place centered around consumption, caregiving, and family life. And
yeah, going from producing to consuming.
This fundamental shift changed marriage, because when marriage is no longer centered around survival and cooperation, people start to be
gold pill bullets to combat the no-fault divorce law werewolves. You know, we haven't seen Michael Sayin for a while, but he would always be the honorary mention to what we were calling the silver pill, because he likes bride price. He likes the Old Testament bride price stuff, and he would mention it was paid in silver some of the time. So we would call him like the silver pill guy. It's just funny because the werewolf things, I think for werewolves, it's supposed to be like silver in the bullet, but I like the idea of the gold pill bullets too. Just made me think of that.
Begin to expect something different from it. Chapter 4, when marriage became about love.
Okay.
Nowadays, when people think about
this is when the gynocentrism really starts to trail in.
They think about building love first, before marriage. However, for most of history, love was something that you might grow after marriage.
Yeah, see, and like this, like I could appreciate the way he's breaking it. He's making it pretty simple. You know?
Remember, when it came to finding partners, it was not an individual decision.
It was a family affair.
But it was a collective one that had to.
And because the family is putting down on the marriage, so they have influence in you know, the selection process.
It was family reputation, assets, and religion. However, as work starts to
assets, he said assets.
Your dowry, it's my right.
Leave the home, and the home just becomes this private domestic space. People start to gain more independence and more personal choice in their lives. They're no longer just in a purely survival.
He can also talk about, yeah, like basically that's it, the wealth generation of the industrialization era, and like the rise of like cheap apartments. You know what I mean? Like there is a technological advance. The other thing he's missing too is like things like the printing press and the popularity of romantic novels and, you know, women novelists, these kinds of things. All that stuff's going alongside this as well. Love is how you end up like Cowboy Man. Still heartbroken for that, Chuvak. Yeah. Yeah, Heroes Forge missed that part of the show. Yeah, I think I might have X'd out that video we were watching, but yeah, it really is a tragedy. No wonder we got along better. We were literally forced to learning how to get past differences. It was just, it was necessary to be more pragmatic minded. And listen, in our last week's stream, it's like, I think some of that's coming back because of how expensive things are getting, you know, like home prices and the, you know, just things in general. It's like, you can't be willy-nilly with your marriage. You know, you can't just, like, throwing away a marriage is going to really hurt, and it's really going to affect the futures of your children. That already affects the futures of your children, but it's like really obviously going to do it when, you know, houses are expensive as they are, you know.
Based situation. And because of that, over time, people begin expecting more from marriage than just stability and cooperation. They begin to expect love. People begin to expect that.
Man, if I had the coach sound effect, the I'm not happy sound effect, that one would play nice.
Relationships are supposed to satisfy emotional needs, not just practical ones. And because of that, people start to view
exactly.
love as something that happens.
Yeah, well, no-fault divorce naturally comes out of this. But you know, as far as Western society is concerned, it's not even just no fault. At-fault divorce was already a huge change in the culture because, you know, for about 1,500 years or so, maybe a little bit more than that, like you just didn't have divorce in Europe, in the West, basically, because it had been abolished. All you had was annulments for a long time. Like divorce, before Christendom, you could say you had divorce in like ancient Rome and ancient Greece, like that was a thing, you know what I mean? Then it becomes no divorce at all, and all you got is annulments. Then around the time of the founding of the U.S., like when the U.S. casts off the Church of England, the beginning of the at-fault divorce system comes back because they basically wanted divorce to be an option, where the Church of England didn't allow that. And literally, as soon as the U.S. gets independence, like divorce starts to be a thing, and it used to be the state legislatures that were handling it. And they had this problem. The problem was, how do we create a divorce system when we haven't had it in society for about 1,500 years or so? So that's where you start to get your development of at-fault divorce. And then all the way into the 1960s, then you get, you know, the no-fault divorce, at least in the U.S., and a lot of this, it kind of dovetails with this idea of love being the center of marriage. And, you know, when two people aren't in love with each other anymore, then, you know, they don't want to be married anymore. The Catholic Church would only do annulments except in rare circumstances. Yes, yeah, that's what was basically it for a while.
Before marriage, people start dating and choosing partners based.
Oh man, if a male Space would hear, he would have a lot to say about the development of dating.
Based increasingly on attraction, compatibility, and personal happiness. And with that shift, expectations start to rise. People start to tie happiness to marriage. Your spouse is your romantic partner, your best friend, your emotional support system.
I keep thinking of Coach Greg Adams' sound effect. I'm not happy.
And your life companion. And in addition, as society moves from being collective to more individualistic, that decision becomes more of a personal one between two people. However, the more marriage became about emotional fulfillment, the more fragile it became, because survival-based marriages were often held together by necessity and structure, but emotional fulfillment is far more subjective and difficult to sustain long-term. And with that shift, a growing contradiction starts to appear. People are being told to marry for love, but what happens if that love starts to disappear? Chapter 5, when leaving.
Okay, yeah, so sounds like he's gonna start talking about at-fault divorce and then no-fault divorce.
Wasn't an option. As marriage makes this massive jump from survival to love, there starts to be this growing contradiction around marriage. People are being increasingly told to marry for love. But at the same time, society treated marriage as a permanent thing. And so even when a relationship was unhappy or unhealthy, leaving wasn't really an option. Granted, divorce was still an option, but it was far more complicated than it is today.
Okay, so it sounds like at fault.
Before 1969...
Yeah, okay, yeah. 1969's no fault.
If you wanted to get a divorce, you had to go to the courthouse
and fault.
prove to a judge that one spouse had committed wrongdoing in order to legally end the marriage.
Okay.
And in this system, being unhappy was not a valid reason to end a marriage.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, because it's like ending marriages left and right is not good for society at large because it creates a burden. What's interesting, it's like prior to that, it's like it was already seen as a problem of marrying for love, even when they were switching from more pragmatic marriages to love, because it's like it's already kind of, you know, they're calling the dowry marriages of reason, and then these ones marriages of like passion or marriage, the love match, marriage of romance. And it's already seen as not looking in the long term. Like it's already seen as this is going to be a burden later on down the line when you guys don't want to stay together because your reason for being together is something that's unsustainable. You know, tradcons love this love match.
Common valid reasons were adultery, abandonment,
cruelty and abuse. Yeah, okay, yeah, he's...
abuse or imprisonment.
Neglect was another one. Yeah, abandonment, I mean, he has that.
And so in practice, divorce were these messy legal battles that involved one spouse.
I mean, and it should be, you know what I mean? Because especially if one person is contributing, you know, most of the economics of that, the economic contribution into it. People need to define what love is. Suvaya's meme graphic of the 8 Greek love terms is still my go-to explanation piece. Yeah, that's fantastic. And Peter Wright has that on his gynocentrism website. I think the one that she made is posted there. So if anybody wanted to find that. Eros is fickle and unstable. That's why it fails. Yep. And you know, you do see that being discussed, like in the dowry newspapers and stuff like that. It's in there, you know, like people are like, they don't have a lot of confidence. It like from what they're seeing from people doing love marriages, they're seeing problems arise after a few years, basically.
To publicly blame the other. And because of that, divorces were heavily stigmatized and could come with social isolation, damaged reputation, or religious condemnation. And back in these times, most women were financially dependent on their husband. So
but that's because they stopped bringing this.
No dowry. It's my right.
So, you know, you need to do that.
Divorce could mean financial instability or even poverty for the wife and children. And so people didn't get divorced. Many people stayed in very unhappy marriages simply because the consequences of leaving felt worse. But over time, this tension built up like a pressure cooker ready to explode. The institution of marriage had changed faster than the laws that governed it. But in 1969, one small legal change would completely alter the institution of marriage forever.
Okay, that's the no fault.
And it would
irreconcilable difference.
Signed by a very unlikely man.
Okay, this is oh God, what is that? Reagan, Governor Reagan.
Chapter 6, the no-fault divorce revolution. So as I just explained, the reason divorce wasn't common back in the day was because legally it was very hard. It involved one spouse accusing the other of something publicly. The legal system viewed marriage as something that should only be ended under extreme circumstances because that's how it was viewed for thousands of years prior.
Because when a household dissolves, it becomes a burden on the rest of society. I mean, quite literally, like that's why we have these gigantic social service programs. Like you have all these subsidized things from taxpayer dollars in order to deal with the fallout of divorce or people having kids out of wedlock. So it's like the rest of society has to pay in some way, you know. Now, if two people are well-to-do, if you get divorced and like they can be fine without being a burden on society, but it does cost each individual separately more to live than if they lived in a household together and shared, expenses and things. I've already thought of my next book. It's going to be a Western. Oh, that's good. With our hero Shah and his friends Peter Wright and Paul Elam. I could already see like a duel. Did you want to be a sheriff or an outlaw, Shah? Did you want? My old username used to be Outlaw Shah. And sometimes, rarely, you'll see someone come into my stream and they'll call me Outlaw. And when I first started streaming on Twitch, my original name was Outlaw. Let me see if I have some of the graphics. Maybe I can even dig up some of those. But, I mean, it's so old. I don't even know if I can find them. Photography, Shah. It's just so old. But yeah, I mean, I wonder if the outlaw character works. Maybe it really doesn't in a way, but that's quite literally what it was. Twitch. Oh man. No, would it say it on there? Man, I kind of miss doing the video game streams, to be honest. Like I would kind of like doing the video game streams again someday. Where the heck? Fun photos. Shah. Twitch thumbnails. Even my YouTube channel used to be called Outlaw Shah. And then I changed it. I don't know. I just felt like the name needed to be changed. But I'm not sure how an outlaw goes. Like, I don't know how it would work with the story. But, just pointing that out, I love the idea, though, of the Western. To see anything else in it. Oh, did you want to see anything else in it? Man, I could definitely see something with, like, gold mining. Especially when you think about that. The Prospector. There's a lot there. There's a lot that there can be. Man, I can imagine a lasso, horses. There's all, man, Western stuff is really cool. I want to watch a Western movie now. It still comes down to the fact that society holds men to one standard and women to another, incentivizes women to walk when Eros fails. A man, he'd be crucified. That's what we saw earlier in the stream, Luke. MGTOW truly is the only way until laws and society changes. Yeah. The one thing I've gathered in, at least from what I've seen and read about, is that marriage laws tend to change after people start behaving differently en masse in a society. So it's like, as people start behaving, typically marriage laws then are changed to catch up to that. So it's like, I think if people start treating marriage differently, then you'll see later on marriage laws kind of update to match that, match the culture, basically. I mean, it's always worth trying to change the laws to be fairer. But in some ways, it's like I kind of see that's what's happened a few times.
Before it was about love. But the more marriage became about love, the more these new expectations began clashing against the old ones, until we reached the point where it became very clear that the laws surrounding marriage needed to change. And before we talk about how they changed, we first need to talk about how marriage legally works in the US. In the US, marriage laws are not handled at
a... Peter Wright, he created a website called gynocentrism.com. He does a lot of stuff with Paul Elam. He's co-authored books with Paul Elam. And he's written a lot of articles on gynocentrism. And he has really excavated a lot of things in regards to like romantic chivalry, gynocentrism, MRAs from way back, and things like that. So you can go to gynocentrism.com and see a lot of his work. I would also recommend following him on Twitter. Literally his username is @gynocentrism on Twitter. So yeah, he's really provided a lot of that research to the space. Yeah, Heroes Forge has it. He writes a lot about gynocentrism, chivalry, and against evopsych. Yep. Thank you for that.
Federal level, but at a state level. And so if the laws surrounding marriage were going to change, it needed to happen at a state-by-state basis. And the first state to address this problem was the state of California, led by their
Man, it's so crazy because, you know, like the courthouse I used to work across the street from, and I literally have a picture of this because I went there specifically to take a picture, but it has a sign that says home of the original one-day divorce program. And that's because the no fault was updated. It was passed here, at least in the United States and California first. And, you know, in the capital city, that courthouse, home of the original one-day divorce program. Get divorced in a day. Like, that's how they sold it as a good thing, you know.
Governor Ronald Reagan. California created this.
Now, yeah, it was Ronald Reagan who signed it. Now, to be kind of fair, like, there was a governor before him. I think it was Governor Brown, Jerry Brown Sr. His son, grandson or son, ended up becoming governor too, interestingly. That was Jerry Brown Jr. But his father was also governor, and he was governor before Ronald Reagan. And like a lot of the no fault like plan was like the train was about to leave the station, and then Ronald Reagan entered in, and like he pretty much just signed it because I mean, I don't know if this was his motivation, if he wanted it, but like a lot of it was already worked on, and it just really needed his signature, and he did sign off on it. It was him who signed off on it. I'm not saying he didn't do that, but you know, great stream. I've got to bail for the night. Have a good night. Legends, Shah's turn, Polka. Thanks for hanging out, man. I'm going to wrap up the stream after this video, so I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much, Luke. So yeah, that's the background, man.
Of the no-fault divorce, which removed the requirement that one spouse prove wrongdoing in order to obtain a divorce.
That's your unilateral
and
divorce.
Instead, a spouse could end a marriage through something far more subjective called irreconcilable differences.
Yep, that's the legalese.
And in plain English, this means we're getting a divorce and it is nobody's business why.
That's
this
a no fault.
Would remove the blame from the legal process. And because Ronald Reagan had been in a highly publicized divorce decades earlier, he had sympathy towards changing the laws surrounding divorce. And in 1969, California passed America's first no-fault divorce laws. And by 1985, 49 out of 50 states would pass their own no-fault divorce laws. New York would be the final state in 2010. For the first
Crazy that New York, of all places. I mean, that's interesting that they held out so long.
Time in history, ending a marriage became illegally accessible for...
The more government meddled with marriage, the worse it became. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a whole, I mean, as these no-fault divorce laws are coming in, like, you're starting to see a lot of kids being born out of wedlock, too. And, you know, then you get the 1975 Child Support Act that creates the federal child support program. You know, so it's like 69, you have no-fault divorce. He just said by the mid-'80s, it's in 49 to 50 states. By the mid-'70s, you have the federal child support program passed, the act passed, basically, and being implemented in the states alongside welfare. You know, so all these things just start to, like, coalesce, basically, and develop. Thanks for providing the background. Oh, no worries, no worries.
For ordinary people. And with that, the institution of marriage fundamentally shifted. It went from something you stayed in because of social or legal reasons to something you stayed in simply because you wanted to. Once the barriers surrounding divorce
that's where the
began
simping
to fall,
came in.
the effects spread far
I mean, the
beyond
simping did come in pretty much with the romantic ethos.
on the courtroom. Chapter 7.
Normalization,
the normalization
of
divorce. Once the laws surrounding divorce changed, many couples that were trapped in a very unhappy marriage now had the legal pathway out. And with that, divorce rates started to skyrocket. They reached their historic peak in 1980.
Yeah, see, there it is, right? So 69's no fault. Yeah, here, you know, and you can just kind of see that, and it's just been trailing around.
Which was double what it was 2 decades earlier. Throughout the 70s and 80s, divorce has started to become a lot more common and a lot less stigmatized.
Yeah, I mean the culture's changing, and then it's like, you got a lot of these women on welfare, and then there's the whole like, oh, she can work too. Like it's basically like then you have this kind of, I don't know if I should call it gaslighting, but there's this kind of propaganda campaign of like, we got to get these women off welfare and get them to work. You know what I mean? So it's like she can do anything. All that stuff I think really comes in service of that. A lot I think you should write a book on this stuff, like about how we got here as a society. Man, this is honestly true. And I have to sit down and be disciplined enough and put the pen to the paper, so to speak. More like the fingers to the typing, but you're right about that. Oh man, what's going on?
People started to see their coworkers, their neighbors, and their friends getting a divorce, which created this feedback loop. More divorce reduced the stigma, thus creating more divorces.
Yeah, he's not even mentioning the kids being born out of wedlock and all that stuff, because like when it's about love, then it's like at a certain point, it's like people might not even make it far enough to get married before they start doing all these things. You know what I mean? Kramer versus Kramer in 1979. I think that was a big case. I need to, it sounds familiar, but I got to look at that. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
And it's important to mention that these no-fault divorce laws didn't suddenly create all these unhappy marriages, but they revealed how many people were trapped in unhappy marriages and now had the legal pathway.
This is like, these are your love marriages, your marriage of passion here. Prior to that, I don't think they would consider it as being trapped in a marriage. It's like, oh, this is a good match that we objectively saw make sense as a marriage.
Out.
Well, I'm your first customer. I will buy the book in a heartbeat. I appreciate that. Man, I really got to get to work. Let me see here real quick.
People were trapped in unhappy marriages and now had the legal pathway out. And in addition, at the same time, women were fighting for equality,
okay, there you go,
professional roles and developing their own financial independence, which made the process a lot more possible. And with all of that, states that adopted no-fault laws saw noticeable decreases in domestic violence cases, female suicide rates.
The interesting thing about domestic violence is that one of the things he doesn't mention is that one of the incentives to move to no fault was that there was a lot of collusion going on in the at-fault era. So if there was no fault that you can prove, the judge would not approve a divorce, even if both of you guys wanted to get divorced. So what would happen is a lot of times people would just work together to make up a story. And abuse is one of those stories you can make up and say like, yeah, he was being abusive. And a photographer that we secretly hired got a picture of this, and now we can present it as evidence. And then the court would be like, okay, here's your divorce. And some courts were easier than others. That was called forum shopping. And so it's just like, when you see these stats drop, is like, how much of that is collusion? How much of that is actual domestic violence? I'm sure there's still actual domestic violence, but it's a movie popularizing, normalizing the divorce phenomenon. Oh, okay, from the late 70s. Ooh, that'd be an interesting one to watch. Thanks for that suggestion. The Great Indoors. That's a funny username. Well, that's interesting. Your username has 1979 in it as well.
Spousal homicide. Marriage had officially become a voluntary institution. However, despite these positives, there was one reality that nobody could ignore. Splitting one household into two
creates a burden
with extreme consequences.
Yeah, for the rest of
Chapter
society.
8, when one household becomes two.
Yep.
Now, with every system that solves one set of problems, it always ends up creating an entirely new set of problems. And with the freedom that came with
Govin Zachariah, good to see you, man. Shout out to you. Domestic violence was on the low when it was legal for the husband to hit the woman. That's interesting. Like, you're saying that like if they wouldn't get in trouble for it, it actually happened less. That's interesting. One of the funny things that is not being said is that in 1920 women got the right to vote. Yeah, that wasn't mentioned either. In 1922, feminists changed the marriage vows, took the word obey out for a softer tone. That kind of reminds me of Pearl's recent videos. She's been going to different churches, and she has a sign that says, "Should women obey their husbands?" And it's been kind of, it's been entertaining watching the responses she gets from, the folks over there. But yeah, it's funny that you say that about the word obey. Thanks for sharing that, man. That's interesting information. Yes, Kramer versus Kramer. Dustin Hoffman, right? Okay, Dustin Hoffman.
The normalization of divorce, there were economic consequences
Yep.
that no one was fully prepared for. You see,
The dowry system prior to that was already looking at this, but then, yeah, people were gaslit to forget about that system. And, these are the consequences.
combines two people into a single financial system.
Yep.
Shared income, shared housing, shared bills, shared assets, and shared responsibilities. But
Mhm.
divorce requires that system to suddenly be divided.
Not to mention, this makes it tougher for the kids because there's less money to help springboard the kids into a better position.
And what often happens when this gets divided is homes are often
And that's what a divorce is, right? It's a dissolution of this conjugal estate, this conjugal fund. They never meant, Klaus, I was thinking that when I saw them mention the female self-deletion, I was like, yeah, but they're not going to look at the rise in male self-deletion, Thanks for pointing that out. They never mentioned male self-deletion rates, even though they are higher. Yeah. And I would say even as a result directly of all this stuff right here. Yes, that is because a lot of women don't even know that they are blindly following feminism or feminists.
Sold at a loss. Retirement
Yep.
accounts are cashed out at huge tax penalties,
Mhm.
and savings go to legal fees. Because households are deeply connected
Yeah, I used to call that juicing the nest egg. That's really what happened.
financially, it often creates instant financial instability for both parties involved. But once the legal process is over, it doesn't get any easier. Before divorce, many expenses are shared, but after divorce, those expenses still exist.
There's 2 electricity bills now. There's 2 rents. There's 2 groceries. There's shuttling the kids back and forth between households if you got a shared custody agreement. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, And all that money that's being spent now, like all that was being put into a nest egg for the children. You know what I mean? So a divorce really is, I think, bad for the prospects of the kids, especially.
But on one income, making everything more
Or, then somebody gets remarried, then they have kids of that marriage, and it's like, okay, well, now that money's going there.
expensive and lowers their quality of life.
Yeah,
In addition,
exactly. Because when 2 people come together, it's supposed to put you guys both up in a better economic position, especially when there's contributions from both sides.
if that divorced couple has children, then one partner, often the woman, is now responsible for earning an income, managing childcare, and managing the household on their own. Not to mention how emotionally exhausting it is for that single parent. But after these immediate effects, there are long-term financial effects that continue. It impacts retirement savings, home ownership rates, and long-term wealth, which makes you less stable in the future.
Yep. Okay, so here's a spicy meatball for you all from Heroes Forge. Every Bible version since 1970 replaces the word fear, reverence with respect in the context to how wives are to orient themselves to their husband. That's interesting. As far as the vows go. I think that's what you're referring to as the vows. This goes along with the vow. Oh, okay. So it's not. So this is something different from the vows. So I think you're talking about specific Bible verses here, and that's alongside. Oh, see, yeah, that's kind of some insidious stuff when they start changing words around like that. I could see you doing a good, or maybe you already did a video on this. I could see you doing a good video on this. I mean, no pressure if you haven't done it already. But that sounds really interesting.
Freedom that people got from divorce came with heavy economic consequences.
Very much
But
so.
perhaps the biggest consequence of divorce.
Referring to specific passages about orientation. Not exactly sure. Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean passages about orientation. I was listening to a billionaire talking about wealth transfer. Funny enough, he mentioned divorce. I came to understand that later on. Interesting. The only billionaire, like, I forgot what that guy's name is. And I could describe his appearance, but he looks like every typical Mr. Burns billionaire. I think he was one of the guys on the Shark Tank show. I can't remember his name. Maybe it was someone else, but
It's something that can't be measured on a spreadsheet. Chapter 9, the kids.
there it is.
All right, we have unpacked a lot in this video, and this is a very heavy topic. But there's one final thing that we haven't touched on yet, and it is what I believe is the most impactful part of a divorce. You see, when a couple separates, it doesn't just impact the adults, but it highly impacts their children. And this
Kevin
is something
O'Leary.
that I can speak
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Because I think Mark Cuban has hair. Kevin O'Leary does too, but he's got more of the Mr. Burns look going on. Yeah, Kevin O'Leary. I saw some clips with Kevin O'Leary. I think I might even save some of those. That might have been who Joe Cote was referring to. All right.
About firsthand, as I am a child of divorced parents. When I was 12 years old during the Great Recession, my parents got divorced. And it wasn't because of any bad reason other than it just didn't work out. But
this is I'm not happy.
The 4 years that followed ended up being the toughest 4 years of my life.
Yeah.
You see, when two parents are dealing with their own problems, the child often gets trapped in the middle and can start to feel emotionally responsible for the struggling parents. It forces you to grow up fast.
You know, I started recently following a subreddit, and it's called Children of Divorce. And it's posts from, I mean, they're not always like really young, but sometimes they're like 20-year-old and their parents are getting divorced. And it's just interesting reading the posts. I don't know. It's just like seeing that perspective close up, and you see kind of the toll and the pressure that it has on the kids. It's unfortunate, you know.
And because you're a kid, you don't understand the context of what is going on,
Yeah.
making it a lot harder. And in addition, divorce often makes the kid's life highly unstable during their most important formative years. I, for one, moved 3 times and went to 3 different schools in 4 years.
Yup, and you're going back
just to be completely
going back and forth between parents' houses
be
too.
real with you, in my final 2 years of high school, I didn't have a single friend because after constantly moving and making friends, it just felt all for nothing, and so I just quit trying. And in addition, when you are a child of divorced parents, you often have to split your time with your parents, making you focus more
There's the kind of living out of your backpack. Okay, time to go to dad's, time to go to
on
mom's.
maintaining a relationship with your parents rather than growing up alongside your peers, which can make you feel distant from your peers. And not to mention, you see firsthand the financial consequences. I think that part of my obsession with money comes from seeing my parents struggle during divorce and never wanting.
Not to mention, for him, it happened during the recession too. So it's like his parents were dealing with it, and a lot of society, probably a lot of his community, were having tough economic times in general. So that's a particularly bad time for a divorce to happen too.
That myself. And in addition, these things just don't end at childhood, but they follow you well on to adulthood. Nowadays, people are getting married much later in life and at the lowest rates in history. And I think a huge reason why is because so many
people saw their parents getting divorced, or an uncle or aunt or whatever,
grew up seeing these tragic divorces as children. And it created this fear of commitment. When the first relationship that you ever see ends tragically, it shapes your own relationships. And that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an element of like, well, my parents aren't married or this, so it's like, why should I do this? Or who are they to tell me, or something like that.
Divorce. While the adults are trying to work through their own problems, it is the innocent children that end up paying the ultimate price. And to be honest with you, I don't think that there's any solution to this problem. And I honestly don't even think.
Oh no, hold on.
Your dowry, it's my right.
there was a dowry or a bride price.
Solution.
That
you
it's
say.
the parents' fault. It's just one of those unfortunate things about life. Life doesn't always go the way you want it to. And so I want to leave you with this. In this world, it is so easy to judge someone or point out their faults. But behind every single person in this world, whether they're good or bad, is a story. A story of how they became who they are today. And a lot of the events in that story were things that were completely out of their control. And whenever you hear someone's story, it always makes sense on how they became the person that they are today. And so one of the most important things that we can do as human beings is to remember that behind every single person is a story that we don't fully see and we will never fully understand. So be compassionate with one another. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe.
I gave it a like. You know, I could appreciate this video. I mean, you know, we were able to graft in a few things that needed to be there. Let's look at the comments real quick. Let's see. That's a comment from him that's pinned. In your opinion, should marriage be viewed as a lifelong commitment, or should people be free to leave whenever they feel unhappy? As a 65-year-old man, I can say without question that the two biggest negative influences on my life were my parents' divorce when I was 8 and my own divorce when I was 35. I never wanted either one, but both were forced on me and both were brutal. I would never under any circumstances get married again. Yeah, see, that's kind of, see, that's how it happens right there. Men men aren't afraid of marriage. They are afraid of divorce. Yeah, you know, never rush into a contract. That is what marriage is. Think about it, plan it, choose carefully. Haven't been to a wedding for over 7 years. Most people don't see any benefit in being married. Marriage needs to benefit both parties. At the moment, one of both feels she is only giving and the other only taking. The concept sours quickly. Man, this video was just missing the word dowry, but they mentioned economics. It's a covenant. I also find it funny how people broadcast their wedding yet ask for privacy about a divorce. No accountability. We did kind of see that in that first video we saw earlier. The ask for privacy. I mean, I get it, but you know, marriage began as a solid contract and devolved into a pinky promise. No, the divorce rate is higher now, but less people get married, so it pulled down the statistic. Gentlemen, this is your sign. Do not get married. Do not do it. I was raised by my grandparents and great-grandparents. Parents died when I was small. I met a lot of old people during my formative years, all happily married since the Stone Age or so. But growing up with people in happy marriages doesn't make me want to get married. I don't even want to date. Times have changed, that simple. Okay, I think that's from a lady's perspective there, from a woman's perspective. I went through a divorce. The wife behaved so badly, I had to divorce her as soon as possible to save my sanity. No amount of money is worth it. If the divorce put me out on the streets, it would still be preferable. Real quick, DL Saint is... Go ahead and just hit the like button on that real quick. I'll go back to that. Yeah, if the divorce put me out on the streets, it would still be preferable. No amount of money is worth it. If the divorce put me out on the streets, it would still be preferable. Okay, so he was in a... As the only child of a divorced couple, I confirm it scars you emotionally for life. It's like planned obsolescence. Be careful who you marry. Protect your assets and never marry anyone coming to the table with nothing to offer. Okay, that one's getting the thumbs up. Watching this video and reading the comments made me realize how blessed I am. I'm a 58-year-old woman that has been happily married for 29 years. My parents were married my entire life, as well as my grandparents. My husband's parents are also still married, and his grandparents as well. Our lives have never been touched by divorce, and we still love and enjoy each other every day. I feel like our marriage is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Truly makes me feel so sad for the many people that have gone through divorce and their children. I truly cannot understand the pain and suffering that produces. Okay, you know. Shout out to those folks. Judith Wallerstein wrote several incredible books on children and divorce. She followed her research kids well into adulthood and revealed parents divorcing nearly always the most difficult thing that ever happened to them. Not just marriage, but no one wants kids either. Why would I want to raise kids on the Titanic while it's actively sinking? For a man with assets and /or income, marriage today is high risk, low or no reward endeavor. The most prolific wealth transfer scheme in history. Children of divorce are more likely to get divorced themselves, so this compounds things further. Okay, I think we kind of hit a lot of comments there. I think what we got to do... let's see. Modern Christian women are liberals, LOL. The Marxists walked in at the 2 now. Okay, yeah. The divorce industry produces the majority of female millionaires. Very progressive. You should have a talk with this guy. That would be pretty cool. This was a pretty good video. It could definitely be worthwhile to do as your own standalone video. I'd consider doing one too. Yeah, I mean, it's a great topic, just going through the timeline like that. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much, I mean, we passed the 3-hour mark over here. I'm just trying to find shit to listen to Shah. Oh, here it is. Shout out to Dan the Man. I think he had to dip out. Oh my gosh, guys. That was I think we had an okay stream today. I appreciate everybody who came in and hung out. And again, thanks everybody for the super chats who donated and for the folks who commented and participated and made this as amazing of a stream as it was. Big special thanks to Dan the Man for creating those amazing art books. He made novelty children's novels based off the goldpill. If you didn't catch that, you might want to go back later and see that. That was fun. That was fun. Thank you for the 37 likes that we got on this video. Wow, we had a great turnout today. So that's super hype, man. I'm appreciative of that. So yeah, it was great seeing everybody. Dan the Man says, I'm making part of the Western story. Do you want your character to learn about the gold pill again, or should it be established that you already know about it? Oh man, that's a very important story question. I can kind of see it as already knowing about it. Like, I'm imagining there's going to be a duel somewhere in here. You know what I mean? I'm leaning towards already know about it. Don't forget, if you write a book, I'll promote it for you. Man, you're making me really feel like I know I need to do this, man. I've needed to do this like a year ago, to be honest with you. I don't know. It's like part of me feels like I should almost just pull away and stay away from everything to write this. Sometimes it could be a lot, but you know what? That doesn't matter. We still got to get it done. So that's the important thing. And it's like in my mind, I've always had kind of 2 books swirling around. One that was more child support related and one that was more dowry related. It would be really cool though. Yeah, you know, I went to a bookstore over last weekend actually, and I saw a picture of an author behind, like in the back cover of the book, and it I really liked the picture and it inspired me, and I was like, if I ever write a book, I would like to. Let me see if I can find this picture. Dang it! Oh man. Where the heck's the picture? It's got to be here somewhere. It was just cool. Like, he was in oh, here it is. He was in a suit, and he's literally, like, check this picture out. Look, check this out. If I ever write a book, I would love to take look how cool. This is some guy from Texas. I would love to take a author picture like that, you know? Just holding my cat. And I kind of feel like he did that because maybe like the cat really helped him write the book, you know, like while he was writing the book, and then the cat was chilling with him. So like when he was kind of like, oh man, it's a tough part, he'd like pet the cat. So he's like, I got to get the cat in this picture, you know? All right, one more. Oh, we got it sounds like a bluegrass. I'm mean, that's not a bad sound right there. I might just stick with that one. You know what? Let's just hang out with this. Yeah, I'm grateful tomorrow's Sunday. I got a lot of stuff that I need to get done. So I hope that you guys out there have a great week ahead of you. God willing, and that you guys make meaningful progress on any projects you're working on. And you guys, if you're dealing with any challenges in your life, that you make, significant strides in overcoming those challenges. So big shout out to everybody out there. Hope you guys do some fun stuff. Maybe take some time to enrich yourselves in other ways that you don't usually do. Maybe go on a walk, clear your mind. Maybe read a book that has nothing to do with the stuff you usually read about, Some of you guys might need to play a video game because it's been so long. Maybe you spend some time with some family out there and maybe do some home cooking. You can't do wrong with that. I've been here. I just been writing the Western Story Next. Any timestamps on the storybooks? Man, I don't have timestamps because I think I'm gonna have to end the stream to do that. You should see the artwork because it's literally it's right after I stopped reacting to the first video. So that's you'll see me pull it up there. And there's two storybooks. Have a good night, Shah. It was another great good stream. Thank you so much, Oikophobic. Yo, Bass. Psst, I was here the entire time listening to you. I always enjoy your thoughts, brother. Thank you so much, Bass. Man, I appreciate that. Man, and I love it whenever I open up my YouTube app and I see Bass posted a video. So we gotta do something soon, man. So thanks for hanging out and stealthily watching. I appreciate that a lot. Good night, brother. I got a new video coming soon. Awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I'll be looking out for that. Thank you, Bass. You have a fantastic evening fantastic night as well, and a great week. Sunday writing time. 2 books for sure. Yep, that's what it is. You have incredible knowledge for this. Thank you, Jay Cote. Great detective work in the stream. Have a good night, everybody. Absolutely. You as well, Klaus. Thank you. And the picture attracts all the cat ladies. There you go. Yeah, exactly. The Western is going to be like the Magnificent Seven. Who do you want on your crew? Paul Elam, Peter Wright. Man, there's a lot of folks to choose from here. That's a tough one. Oh, the Magnificent Seven. Oh, that's genius. I got to think about who to put in these other spots here. There's a lot of folks, man, that I've come in contact with. John from It's Complicated, Coach Greg Adams, even some of the folks in here now. I'll think about it, man. God, that's a tough one. A lot of good folks. Pearl. There's a lot of people. If you want the stories, they are in the AI channel of Shah's Discord. Yeah, that's right. They are in there. Yeah, that's a quicker way to just read it. I gotta figure out a good way to, we gotta bundle those up somehow. Yeah, I might even just go in and actually clip those parts and just post it as a standalone. Just because those books were so good, Dan, I feel like they deserve its own dedicated video. So I think I'll do that and probably edit out some of the chaff, You love me. This was the request by Paul Elam right here. Yeah, by the way, guys, make sure to catch Repairing the Manosphere this Wednesday. There's a big name coming this Wednesday, I believe. I don't want to be mistaken about that, but I think there is. So, and then there's another one in the following week too. So yeah. Man, this song's good. I like this part of the song. All right, legends. I'm going to salute y'all. Have a fantastic night. I feel a little bad ending the stream with this song midway, but it's a good one. We'll get it played here soon. All right, legends. I got to I gotta eat some food, have another cup of tea, hang out with the cat, and just unwind for a bit. Shout out Gold Pillars. You love me. Standalone clips would be good. I'm glad to hear that they are going to get their own standalone video. I want to keep hearing your reading of my stories again. Okay, I'll make sure to do that for you, man. Absolutely, I will. I really got to get that Rich Cooper interview. I'm sitting on a freaking interview with Rich Cooper, and I haven't edited it or posted it yet, man. And then it's like, I got, you know, tomorrow is going to need to be a work day for me. Like, there's no day off tomorrow, basically. See ya, Shah. Shout out to the gold pill. Absolutely.